All right, awesome. So I know we're pretty jacked up. Some of you guys, I think a lot of you guys know Ryan Baker, 15K President's Team member from Ohio. And Tim and Amy just had the privilege of going up and getting trained by Ryan because he's been setting the world on fire. And you want to write this in your notes, duplicating nutrition clubs. So I know on this call we had invited all owners of nutrition clubs, or maybe you're working in a nutrition club, and Ryan has been able to launch, grow, and duplicate these nutrition clubs. And it's not like stuff that we haven't heard before, but a lot of us may have not put in certain things in action. So we're very, very excited. I know, and Tim will share his story in a different call, but in just 1 week getting back, he went from having 0 people working in the club to, I think, now 4 people, Tim, right? And he went from 20 services a day to now over 40. And just the fun, I mean, we talked this morning, he's just really having a great time. So without further ado, we're not doing celebrations or anything on this call. I'm going to turn it right over to Ryan, 15K. In fact, I think you're probably on the cutting edge of 20 or 30K, Ryan, or even Chairman's Club. So I'm going to turn the call right over to you. So everybody give it up for Ryan Baker.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on the call, and I'm super excited and honored, to get asked to even come on these calls and share with you guys and your teams what we're doing here in Ohio. And with the nutrition clubs, I mean, it is just going crazy. And we're super excited about what we got going on. And really, it's about having a system for duplication and an attractive system for duplication. And so I'm just telling you, I hope you got your pens out, have an extra one on backup. You may run out of ink. Have plenty of paper, because I'm telling you, we got a jam-packed training tonight, okay? Lots of materials we're going to be covering and going over, so we just really want to kick right off and get into it. And again, I just kind of want to give you an outline of what we're going to do tonight so you can make note of it. And I got one of my TAB team members here. Her name is Bailey Swingle. She's on the Verge of Millionaires team, and she'll be coming up and sharing her story as well, and doing some of these sections, because she kind of travels with me when I go do some of the STSs and things. But we're going to be talking about first, what is a nutrition club and who should be starting a nutrition club. Okay, these are important things just to learn so we can duplicate them as we go. So that's going to be the first section. The second section is going to be finding a location and then creating that atmosphere within the club, okay? I'm really big on creating an atmosphere within the club, as you'll see as we start going through some PowerPoints and different things. Next, we're going to be talking about invites and some different things along with that, and how to really get people into the nutrition club. And then we're going to talk about creating momentum. Everybody wants that momentum for your business. It's how you fly up the marketing plan. I mean, we got serious momentum right now. When I hit President's Team, 4 months later, we were 15K. It's unbelievable. And if we didn't hit 20K last month, I'm waiting until royalties run. But if we didn't hit it last month, we're definitely going to hit it this month. I mean, we're on track to be smashing goals. So it's incredible. So I'm going to talk about creating momentum and how to really get the clubs busy and really get your social events busy. And then we're going to talk about wow shakes and having those amazing shakes within the nutrition club that people love and enjoy and want to come back and consume daily. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about the entire structure of the nutrition clubs, the cash flow, how the partnerships work within the club, how we get, multiple coaches working within the club. And really, like, with this model we have set up, we have like waiting lists for people that want to work at our nutrition clubs. It's that incredible. And it's really a system to get our club owners to get team pretty quickly. So last year, I believe we had 12 new Get Team members. So we got 21 of them total, which is incredible. And these guys are just club owners that are duplicating the system and rock and rolling. And just this last month, we had 3 people hit their first cut of Millionaires team. Wow. So I'm telling you, The team is on fire. People are flying up the marketing plan. It's duplicatable. It's working. And I'm excited to share all that with you, okay? So what I want to do next is Bailey is actually going to kick it off with our first section here. So I'm going to introduce her. Her name's Bailey Swingle. She's actually sitting right here with me. She's going to pop into the chair as I move out. But she's been with me from the beginning, started off one of my weight loss challenges and went on from there, got multiple clubs now. But I don't want to tell her whole story, so I'll get her up here. So give it up for Bailey Swingle.
Hey, Bailey, thank you.
Hi, you guys. So I'm super excited to share with you. Like Ryan said, my name's Bailey Swingle. I'm right here in Zanesville, Ohio with Ryan. I'm a 2.5 Get team member, very, very close to Mill. We're coming. But I'm really excited to, share what we have kind of experienced and learned upon the past almost 5 years of having the Nutrition Club system and trials and errors and things like that and going forth, so we can really lay it out for you guys what we've been doing and seeing great success with, and are excited to get started. Okay, you got to help me. Sorry,
so we're gonna
guys.
Share some PowerPoints here. All right, can you see that? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Awesome. So a little bit about myself. I got started in a weight loss challenge back in January of 2012 before we had any nutrition clubs. I always like to tell a story. It was actually behind a dumpster in like an old part of the mall that they didn't use anymore, but there were like 50 people in this weight loss challenge. So I'm like, we can get them behind this dumpster. We can definitely get them to this awesome nutrition club, get them in for some amazing shakes, and go from there. But I got started on my advanced program. I felt great. I've gone on to lose 45 pounds from a size 16 down to a size 6. And the best part is I get to be a full-time health coach every day and hang out with my best friends and get people results and healthy and get to impact everyone's lives every single day. So life's awesome. I'm sure you're all aware. Let's get started. So you guys, what we're going to get started talking about today is what is a nutrition club and who should start a nutrition club. So if you have a nutrition club, this is for you. We're also going to be talking about who should be working in nutrition clubs or be thinking about starting your own. It's a little bit of good preparation for you. So nutrition club is a supportive community setting. We're going to focus on a healthy, active lifestyle, good nutrition, obviously Herbalife products, always back to Herbalife, bringing all of our conversations back to Herbalife and what they can do. It's also a tool and a method for your business. You'll hear us refer to your nutrition club a lot as a tool. Just like any other tool, it doesn't work unless you work it. It can also be an office, a place to invite to, sampling location. We all know sampling is huge. Once you get that shake in the customer's mouth, they're definitely coming back. And also an event center. So depending on what your size is, going from there. So this one is a little bit of a larger one that you can see off to the side. Most of ours are around 1,000 square feet, but Ryan will get into that with you later. But you can do anything from your weight loss challenges to your fit camps, to your spa parties, HOMs, any kind of trainings that you want through there, product trainings, quick starts, going from there. If your club doesn't allow the size for it, no problem. Find a space that'll let you do it. Really anywhere and everywhere. Ryan's done weight loss challenges in sub shops. That was before I came around. I don't know if I would have been able to resist the Philly cheesesteaks though. Okay. Nutrition Club, also a place for positive energy, you guys. So we want to be the light of people's days when they come in. They're not going through a fast food restaurant and being asked how their day is going. What was the best part of your day so far? We hope you have a fantastic day. We really want to be the light of their lives and have them feeling great when they leave. It'll be whatever you make it. So make it a fun place. Make it an attractive place that people want to come. You'll notice a lot of our bars have a lot of stools. People love to hang out at the bars. They sit and hang out for hours on end sometimes. We joke around with them on some of our regulars sometimes that I'm going to start charging them rent for stools, but we love them. And, really just make it a place they want to come back to every day and they really want to be a part of. And that's how you're going to get people who actually want to start working behind the bar and work the business with you because they want to be a part of it and they feel it and they love it. So again, mainly it's a tool to grow your Herbalife business and your royalty check. The tool, just like any other tool, doesn't work unless you do. So we got to take our tool and we've got to use it. So we've got to get out, hit the streets. Just because you put up 4 walls and a sign, it doesn't change your work ethic. So if you can't get out and do invites now to your weight loss challenges, to your spa parties, to your shake parties, anything like that, you got to be prepared to do that tenfold if you're going to open up a nutrition club. So speaking of who should start a nutrition club, well, obviously we want a product lover. You have to love the products, breathe the products, bleed green. You have to have a result, and by a result, I mean a good package story, something you feel confident in delivering to your brand new person, to a seasoned person, to a client, anything like that. In business 1 year, that's going to be changing soon, so we're just go ahead and stating in business 1 year. Already in building mode, so you've got a team that's also building a team. You know, you're skilled in retailing and recruiting, so you're knowledgeable. You're getting a downline in there to help you with it. Because trust me, it gets a little rough if there's only 1 or 2 of you and it's like 10 to 13 hour days, 6-7 days a week. You know, so you want to have that team, and the more coaches you have out inviting and creating buzz, the more energy that's going to come into your nutrition club. You want to be event structure committed. So every single one, your calendar revolves around those events. Knowledgeable in your products, your presentations, like your marketing plan, your evals, and knowledgeable in business, of course, and then coachable. So what we mean by coachable is, you know, really willing to take on like the changes we have right now. So we've got lots of changes coming up with our point of sale system. Things are changing, systems are changing, but that's no problem. We just had a team call last night over the new point of sale system. So everyone is coachable that's plugging in. All the nutrition club owners are plugging in. They're really wanting to learn the new system and really wanting to be able to pass it on to their team as well. So work ethic, part-time, full-time, all the time. It's getting crazy over here. I'm not touching anything, I promise. So, and then organize. So you guys, it is a business and it has to be ran like a serious business. There's a lot of money that comes through these nutrition clubs that are busy. So, you know, it has to be organized and ran as appropriate like a business. You also have to be financially ready. So depending on your build out, these are things we're also going to go over later. Your nutrition club can vary drastically on what it's going to cost you, but you just have to remember the things you need eating, like your 3-bay sink, your blenders, countertops, your flooring if you need it, and not to mention your initial stock, like in your cups and your syrups and your puddings, things like that, and also in your Herbalife products for all those complimentary shakes you're about to be giving out because you're going to pass out invites like crazy. Okay, these are some of the prerequisites before working behind the bar. So this is what we look for in coaches who want to work behind the bar, maybe not so start their own nutrition club, but they'd like to work in the nutrition club. So of course, everything that you do, like you're a product lover, you've got a package story, you're committed to the events, everything like that you want in someone that's going to come in behind the bar, but also things that they need to do before they start working behind the bar. So of course, they need to get a result. They need to package their story, have a client base, so they know how to do their wellness evaluations, they've got people results, they've signed people up as preferred members, and they have their invites to the nutrition club ordered, if not already have them. They're plugged into the social events, like your fit camps, your weight loss challenges, they're getting involved, they're knowledgeable in retailing and recruiting, they're moving up the marketing plan. So this, you guys, varies a little bit from club to club. In our club here in Zanesville, it's required that you be a supervisor before you work behind the bar. A lot of that is because now you do know how to retail, you do know how to recruit, you've moved your way up the marketing plan so you can teach your clients how to do that instead of accumulating volume through making shakes. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So once you're up there, and then you can go there because there's volume that comes from shakes. Some of the clubs that are just starting out, you know, let people have come in 35, 42%. Just really, you know, that you see the value in those people moving up the marketing plan, but you also want to make it worth their while to be making those shakes. So, you know, that person at 25% isn't going to make a whole lot once they take the product out of their shake. When Ryan breaks down the money for you guys a little bit later versus someone would have 50% would make. Okay, they also have to volunteer their time and do training. So we can't just throw them in their first day, leave them by themselves, expect them to know how to run through the 3 steps, make a perfect shake. So we usually say about 40 hours of volunteer time and training, make sure their shakes are on point, make sure that they can run new customers through it, and that they're really just comfortable behind the bar. And then, of course, they're attending STSs and corporate events. That is a requirement in our nutrition clubs, that you attend every single STS and corporate event. If there's something that happens, you can't attend the event, no problem. There's several others within a few hours that you can drive to, so that are usually on different days. So no excuses, no problem, right? All right, you guys, so that's going to wrap it up for what we have with what and who. And then I'm going to bring Ryan back up, and we're going to start talking about location and atmosphere.
All right. Let me pull up another PowerPoint here.
Fix that crazy.
Maybe. All right. I don't know what those red marks are on there, but no problem. Just ignore them there. But anyway, my name is Ryan Baker. I'm a senior executive, 15K President's team member out of Zanesville, Ohio. I'm actually a second generation Herbalifer, so I grew up drinking the shakes, loving the products. We've actually, really turned Herbalife into a family business, which is incredible. My entire family does Herbalife. And really growing up and starting to drink those shakes at an early age, I never really thought Herbalife was going to be my career or anything like that. It wasn't until after I graduated college, got my degree, that it was like, okay, what do I do now, right? So I was kind of out there. The job market wasn't that great, still isn't that great. So I saw the success that my dad had with Herbalife, and I said, well, hey, if my dad can do it, I can do it. Here we go. Let's get started. So the first thing I did was I just plugged into the events, the STSs, LDWs, and those events really got me inspired. They got me motivated. I saw all these people walking across stage getting fantastic results on the product. I saw all these people walking across stage that were making awesome incomes, part-time and full-time, and I was just blown away by it. And I was like, wow, if all these people can get these kind of results, why not me, right? So from day one, I was all in. I said, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to put in 100%, and I'm going to work my tail off. And from the day one, I set my goal at President's Team. I wanted to get there. And now it's incredible because we are here, and, it just takes work and takes time. But I want to show you some of my family members here. So in this top middle picture, you got my sister there. She's a World Team member, rocking in the business on her way up. My mom, she's a World Team member as well. My brother there in the red shirt, he's a Get Team member. And I'll show you I think I got another picture of him later because he's lost over 70 pounds, so it's incredible. And then my other brother on the end, he's a World Team member too, and he just opened up his nutrition club in Honolulu, Hawaii. So he's doing super awesome out there, and it's just incredible. But then the far picture over to your left, that's a picture of me and my dad. I believe that was the event that I was getting recognized for hitting the Millionaires team level. And, it's just incredible, the bond that me and my dad had. And he was my number one mentor and leader in Herbalife, and my first believer that I could achieve the President's Team level. And, I'm here to tell you, too, that Herbalife is a company and a business where you can build generational wealth. You can build a legacy that can live on for generation after generation after generation. So I want to tell you, in November of 2014, my dad passed away. He lost his life battling with leukemia, had it for many years. But it's crazy because his legacy lives on through Herbalife. His team continues to grow with Herbalife, and it's just absolutely incredible. And Herbalife is so awesome. Every single month now, not only do they send me my President's Team checks, they still continue to send my dad's President's Team checks every single month, which is incredible. So my dad's distributorship is actually the senior executive, and I'm the 15K. So it's awesome that I get to be one of my own diamonds now. So it's just incredible. And just know that it's something that you can do and that you are doing right now, is you're building a legacy that can live on for generation after generation after generation. So be teaching, your second generation people, up and comers, right? Because they're going to continue to carry the torch for you one day. And now, you know, the lifestyle on the president's team, amazing. You get to hang out with all the leadership, the top doctors, the CEOs, Samantha Clayton. I mean, the lifestyle at the president's team is just unbelievable. And I'm here to tell you, too, we can all get there. There is room at the top with this system, with nutrition clubs, with the momentum that Herbalife has going on, with the #1 products on the planet. We can all be president's team members. We're just starting to scratch the surface of what we're really capable of doing. And that's why I'm excited to get on here and share with you guys what we got going on here in Ohio and creating all this madness and this momentum, is because I just want to see Herbalife grow as a whole. I want to see everyone succeed and get to the top. So let's get right into it. So looking for a location, okay? So I'm pretty sure that most people on here already have a location or might be working out of a location already, but I still want to go over some of this stuff with you, and I want you to take notes with intentions to teach, so you can teach this to maybe future club owners within your organization, right? So if you already have a club, great, but how are we going to show other people how to go out and look for locations and things like that? So what we usually look for is right around 1,000 square foot. We like them nice and cozy, you know, because I like the energy bouncing off the walls. And 1,000 square foot keeps our leases down a little bit, right? Because I don't want anyone biting off more than they can chew or being stressed out about, you know, the price of a lease or anything like that. So we try to keep them right around $1,000 a month or so. I don't know what part of the United States you're in. Obviously, some are higher than that and some may be lower than that, okay? But this is just what we look for here in Ohio, and it seems that this is about the range that we can find great leases in, okay? If you are looking for a location, this is a really important point, and you need to write this down, especially for your future people. Check out the available plumbing and get that plumbing bid before signing a lease, okay? Because I've had people make the mistake of going in, signing their lease, committing to, you know, 3 years or 5 years, whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden they get their plumbing bid back and it's $10,000. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to be getting those plumbing bids, especially if you're setting up the full bar and everything like we do at our nutrition clubs. So just an important note to take there. So again, finding the right location, visible. We want a club that's visible. You don't want to be tucked back in there behind the dumpster like the weight loss challenge I was running that Bailey ended up showing up to, right? We want our clubs visible. We want them in busy areas. I always say, you know, look for areas around grocery stores, gas stations, banks, malls, gyms, right? Or even like fast food chains, right? Because a lot of those fast food places, they do lots of market research on where to put their stores, right? And you know that if there's some of those bigger franchise lunch places, that there's plenty of people in that area eating lunch daily, right? So we already know that. We just got to attract our percentage and get them in there, okay? Great parking, I think that's always important. You don't want to, you know, you want people to have easy in and out when they're getting to your nutrition club, and lots of parking, okay? Because no one wants to drive around in circles looking for a parking spot, right? So again, finding the right location, you got to, you know, kind of give yourself a budget on your build out costs, right? What's the condition of the location? What's the ease of the build out going to be? Okay, because every location is going to be different. So you want to make sure these are on your checklist when you're going to look for new locations and you're helping your team find new locations. So you can see we got a picture here of us putting down a floor, right? So we do lots of the work ourselves, which is good, and I encourage you to do that so you can save money where you can. But you know, you want to look at the ease of it and how you're going to be able to do it, permits needed, and then of course budget going in. And when I say budget going in, like that doesn't mean you spend all your money before you open up on the first day. You know what I mean? So you got to have a little bit of a little nest there, you know what I mean, to kind of help with the expenses in the beginning till we get the ball rolling, okay? Because sometimes it can take a little bit to get the ball rolling, but I'm going to show you how we do it and how you can get the ball rolling in every location you got. So let's switch gears here and let's talk about creating an amazing atmosphere. Okay, that's one of the key things in having a busy nutrition club. And some of our nutrition clubs consistently over 200 shakes a day. I actually just had one club the other day, broke an organizational record, 331 memberships in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, and part of that is creating amazing atmosphere where people want to hang out, they want to visit daily. And, you know, just looking at some of these pictures, right, you can see some of our clubs. They're just, you know, bright colors, energetic, full of life. You can almost just feel the energy coming off the pictures, right? So in creating an amazing atmosphere, what I like to think about and what I train my club owners on is I like to hit all the senses of the customer, right? I want to hit all 5 of them. I want the club to feel happy, welcoming, fun, energized, right? I don't want it to feel like, you know, like a doctor's office feel or like just a, you know, dreary feel or anything like that. It's got to be full of energy. It's got to be smiles. It's got to be, you know, hey, how you doing, right, when people hit the door. Things like that really, really set the tone for your nutrition club, okay? So in creating an amazing atmosphere for the club, let's talk about, first of all, what are people seeing when they walk into the nutrition club, okay? Is it clean? That's a big one, right? Because think about a restaurant that you've been to before that you walked in and it wasn't very clean. It was kind of dingy. It was like, you know, it gives you that feeling of like, hey, I might not come back to this place, right? We've all been to a restaurant like that before. Don't let this be your nutrition club, okay? You want your nutrition club to be amazing, to be clean, to be neat, to be organized, to have smiling faces behind the counter, right? That's one of the main things, right? Great positive attitude and smiling faces behind the counter. But get those nutrition clubs clean, okay? And I'm talking detail, right? Cleaning the bottoms of the blenders, different, you know, cleaning the lids, things like that. Just really detail, because it's the impression of your business, okay? So whatever impression you want to give off is what you're going to do, but I like to give off a nice, clean nutrition club. So again, clean, 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 even the 15K Pres team clean, right? So that's a picture of me there mopping the floors, right? So you're never too good to get that mop out and get clean in those floors and get that club looking spotless for the next day. So again, creating that atmosphere, make those clubs attractive, right? This is a new club we got down in Panama City Beach, Florida, and that's just amazing club. It's just a poppin' club, just looking at it. You know, you see those bright colors, you see the awesome ordering board, you know, that's fun, energetic. And we always like to go a little bit higher quality on like the frames and shelvings and displays and things like that. Just because, again, you're representing yourself as a business. We're talking about making money with this business, you know, especially a lot of people, if we're talking about duplicating clubs and things, and we're talking to people about how much money we're making in Herbalife, and then we might have posters scotch taped to the wall. Doesn't look like we're making much money, does it? You know what I mean? So you want to have the nice frames, the nice shelving, the nice displays, okay, because it really sets the tone for what you want going on and what you want to duplicate, okay? Because a lot of times they don't duplicate above where you're at. It'll usually be a little bit lower. So let's set our personal clubs really high so then our other clubs are amazing as well. So some of the displays, again, these are from different nutrition clubs, just showing you duplication, okay? Because it's crazy, like you walk into one club and then you walk to another club, it's almost like you feel the same, and like it's like some of the displays are the same and things like that, and it just creates that feeling of duplication and what really works with the nutrition club. But you want to have the nice displays, the nice frames, the you know, nice energetic chalkboards, which I'm sure everyone's got. You know, because little things like this really make a difference in creating that atmosphere that people are going to want to hang out at. Posters, the colors of the club. Again, you can see this is one of our posters here, our skin poster, but you see how we got the nice frame around it and things like that. So pay attention to detail within your nutrition clubs and when you're teaching your team members about nutrition clubs. Even the seating, you know, nice seating, comfortable seating, lots of seating, you know, and I like to, again, take, you know, just step it up a notch and, you know, don't blow your budget out of the water, but you want to get the nicest things you can within your budget to make the nutrition club as nice as you can. And then amazing looking shakes. Okay, let's take a look at this picture for a minute, because this is what I like to call Instagram ready. Okay, these shakes are Instagram ready, which means that when someone gets their shake, they just want to take a picture of it, take a selfie, post it on a social media, right? Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be. They're attractive looking shakes. They look delicious. So guess what that entices people to do? Come in and get one themselves, okay? So again, down to the little details. If you want a busy club that's doing the high numbers and things, pay attention to detail and just looking at some of these shakes. Who wants a shake, right? I mean, my mouth's watering looking at this raspberry one over here. I'm like, man, looking delicious, right? And that's what we want, and that's what we want to portray an Herbalife shake looking like and tasting like and being like. Let's talk about the smell of a nutrition club, okay? Because again, we want to touch all the senses. I'm going to refer back to the restaurant, right? We've all walked into a restaurant before, and it's just been like not a great smelling restaurant. You know what I mean? So all of our nutrition clubs got wax warmers burning. So our clubs smell amazing, and we put things in there like cinnamon roll and pumpkin pie and different things like that. So when people walk in, they just feel like they're at the bakery or something, you know, and it just hits them in the face, and they're like, man, it smells delicious in here. Your shakes look delicious. You know, their smiling faces, it's clean. It's just really creating a good feeling for them. And then what are people hearing when they walk into the nutrition club? So, right, greetings right from the door. We always like to say people's names like before they even get both feet in the nutrition club, because that makes them feel good. You know, when was the last time you walked into a restaurant or anything like that, and they're like, hey, what's up, and say your name before you even get up there to order? It never happens, right? So it happens our nutrition club, and it makes people feel good when you use their names, right? So then also too, you got to be conscious of what kind of music is playing, right? So we always have good, clean music playing. We play all sorts of different music in there, whether it be country, whether it be 80s, cardio, whether it be something, we kind of just change it up depending on how we're feeling, but it's always good, positive music with a good message, nothing that's like negative or you know exactly what I'm talking about. Another thing is what's playing on the TV. If anything's playing on TV, we don't play nothing on our TVs, but I've seen nutrition clubs where they got like the news playing on their TV or something, right? So no news stations on your TV, okay? Because that's all negative stuff, and it's going to be hard to create a positive energy with negative things going on in the nutrition club. So compliments are always great to hear. So we always try to give compliments to our people. They're looking great, they're losing weight, lots of different things, because people love to hear compliments, and they'll come back, just to hear them over and over and over again. And then all conversations, positive, Herbalife conversations, right? So I always tell my coaches, no like gossip and different things like that. Like every conversation in there should be geared towards helping someone achieve their goals, right? With positivity. And then again, down here at the bottom, I want all positive and all uplifting all the time with everything that we're hearing, okay? So talking about taste now. Teas, aloes, shakes, they all need to be amazing, and they all need to be consistent throughout the board and every single time. So all of our nutrition clubs, we run the same recipes, right? And we make our shakes the same, and everyone's trained the same, so that if you get a blueberry muffin at my shop and then you drive 45 minutes away and get a blueberry muffin at one of Bailey's shops, they're going to taste the same, right? Because a lot of our customers, they do bounce back and forth, go to different clubs and things like that. So we want everyone to be cohesive and have the same thing, because that's what you would expect out of restaurants that are serving pretty much, serving the same products, as you want to get the same taste, the same flavor and everything like that. So consistency is key on that, making sure everyone's got the same recipes and they're staying on it every time. Samples, got to taste amazing, right? If you're sampling stuff out. I already said it, follow those recipes. And then stock inventory for consistency, okay? Nothing worse than a nutrition club that is continuously running out of something and someone can't get their favorite shake today because they're always running out of products, right? So if a club's always running out of product, then eventually you're out of business, right? So what you want to do is stock for consistency, stay on your inventory, make sure you have the supplies for it so that you can make every single shake on the menu, right? That's just good business as well. Okay, so let's talk about how people are feeling, okay? I know this is like feel, touch, but I want to talk about how people are feeling on the inside, right? So not only how are they feeling on Herbalife products and how the Herbalife's making them feel, but how are you making them feel as a person when they're walking into the nutrition club, right? Like I said, energy, compliments. Overall, we want to give them a great experience. We want them feeling support in their goals, whatever they might be, right? And all of our clubs are relaxed, laid back, no pressure atmosphere, no doctor's office feel, no like they come in, it's like, oh, I got to weigh you, measure you, do this, tell you your BMI, all that stuff. You know, we just kind of really kick back, get people in the door, let them enjoy their shake, have a great time, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, you should write that down. We'll see you tomorrow. Because then it puts it in their head like, oh, yeah, I should be coming back every day or tomorrow or so-and-so. So we get them coming back consistently, consuming shakes, enjoying the atmosphere, building the relationships when they're coming in for lunch or breakfast every single day. And then they're going to start asking you about products, and we're going to lead to some presentations and things down the road. But for the first time in, I just want you to enjoy the club. I just want you to enjoy your shake. I want you to try some different samples and then come back and hang out with me again tomorrow, right? So we just really just laid back everything, and I think people really grasp on that, and they really like that, you know what I mean? Because they don't feel like they're coming in, they're going to get sold on something or anything like that. Don't get me wrong. We retail a ton of product. Remember, about to be 20K. So we're killing it with retail and product, but low pressure on it. And people, just support people on whatever level they're at, because we need fans, right? We need customers. We need wholesalers. And then we need business builders, right? But we need people on all levels of the playing field, right? So it's great to have a bunch of fans that are coming in just consuming shakes and having a great time at the Nutrition Club. And then the main thing is you're having fun, you're making great shakes, and you're building relationships, right? If you get anything from that presentation there, and you can see, you know, one of these pictures down here, that's like a basic lunch, right? And it stays like that almost all day. I mean, it's incredible, you know, what we're doing with the nutrition clubs and the numbers that we're getting. And then one of the sections later, I'm going to cover how we build this momentum and how we really get these clubs rocking. So we just kind of, you know, going over these sections so that you can learn with intentions to teach your downline, so you can duplicate more nutrition clubs, okay? Because actually, so to tell you a little bit more about my story and getting started is, my first 3 years, I worked right out of my house, no nutrition clubs, okay? So if you don't have a nutrition club yet, no problem. You can start where I started, right, which was doing weight loss challenges anywhere and everywhere I could. Like Bailey said, I did one at a sub shop even one time, but I was doing them at churches, community centers, anywhere. And once I built up that customer base, once I had some team members that were on board and ready to go, then I opened up my first nutrition club, okay? So my very first month opening up my first nutrition club, I hit Active World Team. And I was fired up, right? And this is 3.5 years into the business to Active World Team. Took me 17 months to hit World Team. But after that, the next 3 months were my cuts of Get Team, right? So 4 months into opening up my first nutrition club, I was a Get Team member. 1 year later, I was a Millionaires Team member. 1 year later, a 7.5 mil team member. 1 year later, President's Team member. 4 months later, 15K. Right? And then again, we're coming up on the next level soon. But the growth in these nutrition clubs, and we actually now have over 40 nutrition clubs in our organization, and we're just duplicating them like crazy. But again, we're just getting started. Even here in Ohio, I mean, just getting started. I envision hundreds of clubs just in Ohio. Hundreds of clubs. Okay. I mean, it's going to be incredible where we're going to be going in these next few years, and be excited because you're on the cutting edge of this stuff and how to grow these things. And I mean, it's just incredible what I feel y'all are going to be able to do. So we're going to bring Bailey back up here. Just a second.
And Ryan, real quick, as you guys are switching, how big is your area? Did I understand?
Yeah.
It's how many people in your town?
So my town has 25,000 people and has 5 nutrition clubs in it, and they all rock and roll and do well. And let me tell you what, we're going to go over invites later and how we really blew these clubs up to massive numbers. But I started this nutrition club with 6 people. It was me and 5 other people. Each of us ordered 5,000 invite cards and passed them all out 3 weeks before we opened. So we passed out 30,000 invite cards in a town of 25,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 weeks before we opened. I mean, of course, people were getting more than one. You know what I mean? We were making it rain with these invite cards. And then after that, guess what we did? We each ordered another 5,000 and continued doing invites. And there's still invites going out today. And 5 years later, there's still people walking in today that are like, what is this place? And I'm like, where have you been the last 5 years? It's incredible that not everyone's been here yet. I mean, I swear I've given them all an invite, but apparently not. So I'm going to continue giving them invites until they come in. And another thing is a great story is one of my Get team members now who has multiple nutrition clubs in her downline, she didn't come in until she got her 11th invite. Like I went up, I gave her an invite, and she goes, I keep getting these things. She reached in her purse and pulled out 10 other invite cards. And I was like, well, when are you going to use one, right? So she finally came in, used one. Now she's a Get team member and just rocking in the business. So even if you invited someone once, don't worry about it. Invite them again and again and again until they come in, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, so I think Bailey's coming up with invites next, which will be great. So we'll get her pulled up here.
All right, you guys. All kinds of good information. The thing keeps getting crazier. I'm not going to touch it. All right, so we're going to go over invites, work ethic, and self-employment. So guys, we're always inviting new. And then, of course, like Ryan said, keep inviting because you never know if you're going to be that person that makes the impact on that person to get in the door. You know, maybe my invite wasn't the invite for them, but your invite might be. So just keep inviting. But things to invite to are going to be, of course, your nutrition club, any of your social events, like your fit camps, your spa parties, things like that. Presentations, so product presentations, business presentations, STSs, of course, we want to be inviting to STSs like crazy because we all know once we get to people to the STS, they get fired up and they get excited. Weight loss challenges, etc. The list goes on and on. Just always be inviting someone to something. So mass invites, it's a numbers game. So again, just like Ryan was talking about Sam, it's a numbers game. Just keep going out there. The more invites you have out there, the more likely people are to come in. Tracking your gauges. So having a gauge sheet. How many invites is it going to take you to go out and do to get one person through the door? So, you know, how many is it going to take you to get that person in the door? How many people in the door is it going to take you to get someone to do a wellness evaluation? How many wellness evaluations is it going to take you to get someone on product, then to become a preferred member, then to become a business builder, etc. So you can break it all down and see how many invites you need to be doing to get down to the bottom, even just one business builder. Takes 10 no's to get one yes. So if you go out, someone says no, awesome. There's one of your 10. Keep going. All right, and you guys, some of our invites, this one is like to our fit club, and then this one is to a weight loss challenge. I don't have our nutrition club invites on here right now because we're in the process of changing them. If you have not heard, your invite cards are no longer free cards. They are complimentary cards. So anything free has to go. We actually just had corporate up in some of our clubs today. and said just a couple things, but any of the free stuff has to go and has to not be complimentary, but no problem. All right, taking your team to do invites with you. I was so scared to do invites, and it's like the craziest thing now that we think back on it, trying to do our first invite. It is like the scariest thing that you're going to give this presentation in front of 1,000 people just to go up and hand someone a card. And I'd never probably would have done it if Ryan hadn't literally like drugged me out and took me to the college and was like, we're passing out this whole box of invites. We're not leaving until it's done, so you better get on it. So we got out, passed them out. And then, once you do the first one, it becomes a little bit easier every single time and going from there. So take your team to do it with you. It's going to be more fun if you do it in a group anyways, because then you have someone to chat with as you go find more people to invite. Your team does what you do, not what you say. So if they don't see you ever out doing invites, they don't see your invites coming into the club, you telling them to go do at least 10 invites every single day isn't going to resonate a lot with them. So the more that you invite, the more that will come. Of course, again, like we talked about, it's a numbers game. All right, guys, so now we're going to switch over to work ethic. So we're all our own bosses, so we all have to have great work ethic. Especially if you're going to open up a nutrition club, you got to have awesome work ethic. So your minimum wage work ethic is going to equal minimum wage pay. So if you want more than minimum wage pay, you better work a little bit harder than minimum wage. And of course, your personal development. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Are you doing your personal development every single day? Are you doing your personal development at all? It's very important. It's why we take time out of every single training and we talk about personal development every single time. Of course. And of course, if you made $100,000 annually, ask yourself daily for that day, would you hire yourself or would you fire yourself? You're trying to make a career level income in this business. You have to really look at the work that you're putting in daily and seeing how much that you're really worth. Our buttons say earn what you're worth, but what are you really worth? How much are you putting in? All roads that lead to success require hard work at some point. Work for it. No one's going to hand it to you. Just because Ryan's dad, Bill, was a Millionaire team member when he started doesn't mean Ryan automatically got to become a world team member. Like I said, it took him 17 months to get to the world team. But, to get to 15K Pres team, I'll take however long I would need. But, it's awesome. But it was hard work, and it's hard, consistent work. That's one to write down in your notes. Hard, consistent work. Maybe we don't work harder than everyone every single day, but we consistently work every single day. Then going above and beyond is what's going to separate us from our competitors or from even just, a chain store, because they're not calling their clients. Make sure you're a master at your follow-up. Even when you don't want to do it, just do it. Under promise and over deliver. The worst thing you could ever do to one of your clients or one of your teammates is to over promise and then under deliver, because then that doesn't instill in them that you are a leader and that you're someone that they can look forward to for advice and to how to grow their business. All right, switching into self-employment. So can you be your own boss? Can you be self-employed? You guys, this is a tough one because some people just cannot. Some people cannot be self-employed. They need someone to tell them when to come to work, what time to punch out for lunch, what time to leave, and how much effort they needed to put in that day. And that's fine, because there's always going to need to be those people, and we love them. We love them for where they're at, and if they want more, we're always excited to help them find more. But if you want to do this and you want to really work around your business, or work around your job that you're doing now, you're going to have to schedule yourself and really have that drive. Or if you want to do it full-time all the time, then you're going to have to schedule yourself daily, hourly. Can you make the tough calls? Can you have the discipline to do it when you don't want to? Do the presentation when you don't want to. Make the follow-up when you don't want to. Go to the STS when you don't want to. But that's what we do as our own bosses. You have to wake up with intention. Every single day, waking up with intention. Making daily lists and crossing off tasks as you go. So like what we talked about with scheduling. Lists are amazing, and the crossing off of the list is my favorite thing. So whether you do like a box or a check, I like to make a box and then I check it and then I cross it off too, because I'm a little bit extra. And then a power hour. So how are you setting up your day? Are you waking up in the morning and setting up your day positively, getting, reaching out and touching a few of those lives, putting out some positive vibes, getting your personal development and getting your blood flowing, doing your IMs, saying how much you love you, how powerful you are, really setting your day up for success. Then having a solid why, it will drive you. So if you haven't really found your why yet, or you have had a why for a while, and maybe you've kind of completed that why almost, I want to say, not completed, but maybe you need a new, stronger why, it's going to drive you. So it's going to help you make those calls that you don't want to make when you don't want to get out of bed in the morning. You know, my biggest goal in my life is to retire my mom right now, and she's amazing. I love her so much. But to put, you know, anytime I want to think that I don't want to do something for, who said this? I think it was Enrique. You know, I don't want to do something. I don't want to do this presentation. I don't want to go to this meeting. He said it's like turning and looking at your why and looking them in the face and saying, you're not worth it. You know, can you imagine looking at your why, your kids or your mom, or, you know, I love my dog. I couldn't imagine telling him, you know, you're not worth it. So having that solid why and really, you know, having it there every day and having it somewhere that's going to remind you to get up and get going. Because we all have the same 24 hours in the day. So how are you spending yours? Are you spending it on success and growing your business and changing lives and impacting your community? Are you spending it on Facebook? You know? Time management. Make a schedule, stick to it. I am becoming a great time management. I speak that way because I was never great at time management, and I always said I'm terrible at time management, but I've decided to change my languaging, and I'm becoming great at it. So all the time I'm becoming better at sticking to my schedule and not running on what I call Bailey time. But you know, really work on your flaws, work on your weaknesses, and becoming a better person. And then your work starts after your shift in the club or before, whenever your shift is. You know, our nutrition clubs are busy, you guys. Our shifts in there run 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And they're pretty much the whole time you're in there, you're cranking out shakes, you're talking to people, you're sitting down, you're running through a catalog. If you got any time, you're documenting your volume into the new point of sale system. You know, so but then your real work starts after that, because then you got to do your client follow-ups. You got to go through your supervisors, see what's doing what, see who needs to hit what promotions, and really putting in the time when no one's looking. So be careful of unintentional scrolling on social media. How many of us have been on social media and you're on Facebook, and I'm going to sit down for 5 minutes and look through here, and you look down. It's an hour later. You've missed your client follow-ups. You don't know what's happened. But be careful of unintentional scrolling. I had to start setting a timer if I wanted to let you scroll through my social media, because I want to see what my clients and my friends are doing, and people from around the country that I've got to meet. I want to see what they're doing and check in and love on them, but only for a brief amount of time. So, you know, setting a timer when you get down and do that. So when the timer goes off after 15 minutes, you close the phone and you're done. But you also want to work your social media, of course, because we're huge on working our social media, so chasing your likes and your leads. You know, putting up a results picture of one of your clients, and then you have that section of friends that you're not friends with that have liked it. You can go in and message them and be like, hey, I saw that you liked Callie's picture. She's done absolutely amazing. I just wanted to see if you were cheering her on, if you were maybe interested in some more product or some more information on what she's been doing. Yeah, some people will message you back, and that's no problem. Some people are just they're cheering it on, but there's people that are too shy to reach out. You might be the one to change their life just because you reached out, because they don't want to reach out to you about the fact that they want to lose 50 pounds and they've wanted to for the past 6-7 years. You know, so really just taking a little bit of time and effort just to send those messages out can really impact some lives. And of course, self-education never stops, always in personal development. Like Jim Rohn says, formal education will get you a job. Self-education will make you a fortune. But most of all, you guys, you have to be absolutely in love with everything you do if you're going to be self-employed. So your company, we bleed green. You have to. Your results, you want to shout them from the rooftop because you're so excited about your results that you want to tell everybody about it so you can give them the chance to feel as good as you do. Your clients, we're in the business of creating relationships and loving on our clients and impacting their lives. So you want to love on them so much. And then yourself, you have to love yourself. Self-love is one of the biggest things in this business, because if you don't love yourself, you aren't going to feel great about yourself to put it out there to love other people. So that's why we do our I ams. And I am great, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am powerful, I love myself. Because once you're happy with yourself, you can pour more of yourself out to others. And then your team, you have to love on them. You know, spread Mark's vision for your team. Let them borrow your eyes. And then again, you guys, how you do anything is how you do everything. So really be the leader of your group and then the leader of your nutrition club so you can get out there and cast a vision for the others that want to do the same thing, that want to impact their lives and the communities as well. Awesome. That's going to wrap me up for work ethic and self-employment. And then we are doing momentum. Yep, so now Ryan's going to come back up. We're going to talk about creating momentum. So you guys are going to get some goods on this one.
All right. Yeah, so great section. And I know we're an hour into it, but let's keep going. Let's keep grinding. You want to stay on the call because I'm telling you the last section is going to be the most important section. And then we're going to do a Q&A for you at the end. So if you got questions, I want you to be writing them down as we go so we can get those answered at the end and make sure everything's clear for you. But stay strong. Take a lift off. Here we go, right? We got a couple more sections lined up for you. All right, so let's talk about momentum for a second. Write this down, and I want you to look it up on YouTube after this call tonight. It's called Leadership Dancing Guy, okay? And this was a video that I'd show at the end of all of our HOMs and things like that because I just felt like I was the leadership dancing guy when I first got started, but really I wasn't. It was Mark Hughes that was the leadership dancing guy, and we're all following him and his vision, his dream. But I want you to watch this video, and I want you to take in perspective that this is what can happen with your business when you create momentum. So that's going to be fun for you to check out later. Okay, so let's talk about momentum for a second. What is momentum? It's a strength or force gained by motion on a series of events. Okay, so a series of events that creates momentum, that creates motion in something. Let's talk about community, okay? Because within Herbalife, that's exactly what we do is we create the community. We create the Herbalife family. We create, this amazing group within our communities itself, right? So we created an Herbalife community within the community, and it's a group of people with common characteristics or interests living together within a larger society, right? So our people are getting together. We're focused on a healthy, active lifestyle. We're focusing on exercising together. We're focusing on getting the best nutrition we possibly can, right? So we've really created that community and that family that people just love to be around and hang out with and join the group. And then duplicate. We are in the business of duplication. Amber Wick once said, she said, if I'm going to do something, I ask myself two questions. Number one, does it work? And number two, is it duplicatable? And if the answer isn't yes to both of those, they don't do it, right? And so that's really what we do. We're not, constantly reinventing the wheel. Like all of our clubs, they're cookie cutter almost, right? Same system, same things going on. It's duplication to a T because we've already proven it successful. Let's think of a fast food franchise, for example, right? You go to one here in Ohio, and then you go to one, let's say in Florida, right? They're going to be pretty the same, right? They're going to have the same menus, the same duplication, the same systematic process, and that's why they're successful all over the country, right? And that's how you can get your nutrition club successful all over the country, by having a duplicatable system, which we're going to share with you tonight. So structure, okay? Structure within the club and structure within your business. It's an arrangement of relationships between parts and elements of something complex, but these nutrition clubs are not complex, okay? But we do have a structure for it that has all the moving parts for you, right? So there's no guesswork when a new nutrition club owner gets started. There's no guesswork in what to do because we got the structure for it. And then the systematic process, right? It's regarded as a means of management aimed at reducing the number and the severity of mistakes. Okay, so when I first opened my nutrition club and how we came about creating this system and stuff was we made a lot of mistakes, right? No problem, because those mistakes are learning experiences, right? Those mistakes are just practice, I like to call them. But now, since we've gone through those mistakes, we've learned from them, we've added them now into our systematic process. So when new club owners, open up their nutrition clubs, they don't have to make the same mistakes that we did, right? Because we got the process down now. So where they can just go in full force, let's go. So it's awesome. This was part of the other slide, right? So just with the systematic process, we reduce the errors. And this is one of our cardio drumming classes. We are really packing the house with our social events, our nutrition clubs. Like this class right here has on average like 100 to 120 people at cardio drumming every single time. It's just incredible. And actually the guy that runs this class, he just hit his first cut of Millionaires Team last month. So it's incredible. And this next slide, I think, is worth everything. Okay, this is one of the main presentations I give to my business people, and if I was you, I would take a picture of it, or I would copy it down as I start going through it, because this is one of the presentations that you have to learn. I'm sorry that there's those red scribbles on it. I don't know where those came from, but this presentation right here is one of them that you have to learn. So there's a few presentations you have to learn, and you should write these down, and you got to master them because it's all about doing the presentations. Number 1, wellness evaluation. Got to master it. Number 2, product presentation. Got to master it. Number 3, the Herbalife Opportunity Meeting. Right? We like to call them HOP events here in Ohio, for Herbalife Opportunity Party. Right? Because we like parties. And then the 4th one is the marketing plan, how we get paid. And you should learn the marketing plan in a napkin presentation, which means that you can take a pen and a napkin and show me the marketing plan. All 7 ways we get paid, all the way to President's Team. Right? So those 4 presentations, we do over and over and over again. And then this one right here that I'm about to show you, this is the 5th presentation that I do over and over and over again to show people how to get started with their business, what they need to be doing to attract new people, and then what we need to do once we get those people, okay? So up here at the top of the page, like Bailey talked about, it all starts with the invite. And the invite can be any sort of marketing, advertising, button hit, branding, anything that attracts people to you to talk to them about Herbalife or something, right? But I like to say we're doing invites to social events, okay? It all goes the invites to the social events. And I tell all my club owners that you usually want to have about 3 of these social events going on. That way you have more than just the nutrition club to invite to, right? Like you saw on Bailey's slides, invites to the Fit Camp, invites to the Weight Loss Challenge. Okay, so we're going to go down through this chart here. So invites to social events, and we got the club there. We got weight loss challenges. We got fit camps. We got cardio drumming. We got shake parties. We got walk club. Literally anything that you want to do that's a hobby of yours that you can get people together, focus on a healthy, active lifestyle, and consume Herbalife products and talk about Herbalife products. So I always tell them, if your thing is knitting, hey, get your group together, get knitting, and drinking on some hot herbal tea and making some shakes, right? A social event can be anything you want to do, but you want to have a couple of them going on within your club and things like that. And if none of this structure is going on in your area yet and you don't have any of these fit camps and things like that, what you can do is go join ones and classes and things that are already going on, being taught by someone else, and just be the Herbalife person in that class. You know, go there branded to a T, always taking your shaker cup, always have extra samples. And then you can still invite people to come with you to that you can coach. That can be even the class led by someone else, right? No problem. We'll figure it out. We'll show you how to get some things going. But if you got the nutrition club and the structure, It's all about plugging in, working together. So once we get people coming to these social events, now what do we do with them? The presentations, right? The 4 presentations I just talked about, which was wellness evaluation, products, the Herbalife opportunity meeting, and the marketing plan. Okay, now let's say if you have a fit camp of 200 people and you're doing 0 presentations, is your business going to be growing? No. Okay, it's not really about the size of the class. It's about how many presentations you're actually doing. Okay, so make a note there that if I want to grow a royalty check, I need to be doing presentations. And then I need to teach people within my team how to do presentations, okay? Because it's all going to work with this flow here. So let's say someone goes through the presentations, and it can really almost be any of them, you know, the HOM, wellness evaluation, whatever, but they're only going to come out of the presentation one of 3 ways. There's only 3 ways they can go. So let's start all the way to the left. If they come out of a wellness evaluation or Herbalife opportunity meeting, and let's say that they're just a not right now, okay? And I say a not right now because no one's never a no forever, right? I got people that are rocking and rolling in my business today that were a not right now for 3 to 5 years. No problem, right? So if they're not right now, you know, we don't shun them away, stop coming to my class. No, we want to love on them. We want to stick with them. They're eventually going to come around. We want to build value in us being their coach. But instantly right here below not right now, what do we want them to start doing regardless? Start inviting. You see that? They're going to start inviting. Even my not right now start inviting to what? My social events. Why? So we have more people to do presentations with, right? Now let's say they come out of the presentations and they get started on products. Well, they get started on products. Guess what? What's the first thing I'm going to have them start doing? They're going to start inviting to what? My social events. Why? So we got more people to do presentations with. We're going to continue amazing follow-up with those customers. We're going to get them results. They're going to start bringing us even more referrals. And now it's time to show them the money, right? They start bringing us these referrals, inviting people to fit camps, things like that. Now we need to show them the money, and then they become distributors. Now they're ready to start selling some product, right? Or at least possibly become a preferred member at that point in time, right? Because sometimes someone will lead you to a leader, right? Now then the third option, let's say they come out of the Herbalife opportunity meeting and they want to be a business builder. They're interested in making some money, right? What's the first thing we're going to get them doing? Inviting to what? Social events. Why? So we got more people to do presentations with, right? And we're going to be teaching these guys how to do the presentations and things like that. Once we get a business builder too, we're going to treat them like a customer. Just because they got the business pack doesn't mean they're ready to coach themselves on the product. So we want to, work their results, get them amazing follow-ups, have them start bringing us more referrals. And then it's working the event cycle, event to event to event. So quick starts, STSs, LDWs, extravaganza, here come your leaders, okay? I don't know what it is about getting people through the entire event cycle, but they get through that event cycle, they get knowledgeable, they get learning, they get committed. Before you know it, you're going to be popping tab team members like crazy. Once you really get this structure flowing, okay? So you can see how we get our fit camps up to 100 people plus by not just me inviting 100 people. There might be 30 coaches within that class that each brought, 2-3 people, right? So it's lots of people plugging into the funnel, doing the invites, lots of presentations going on, and then just letting people make their decision, and then us being happy with it and supporting them on whatever level they might be, right? But if you want massive growth in your business, if you want massive momentum in your business, then it's going to start with massive action at the very top, which is your invite and getting people into the into the social events and building those relationships, and then eventually bringing them into the presentations, okay? Because it's not going to be their first time at Fit Camp that they're getting, you know, all 4 presentations, making a decision. You know, let's just get them coming to Fit Camp, get them enjoying some shakes, get them getting a little bit of results, you know what I mean? And then we take it a little step further and a little step further. It's just baby steps, right? Because that's what people kind of like, I think, anyway, right? But eventually, we're going to sit them down, we're going to go through these presentations, and then we're going to let them decide, right? So this presentation is the 5th presentation I would say you need to learn and master. Learn it on the napkin presentation, too. That's why I wrote it out with the Sharpie, because this would have been tough on a PowerPoint, especially with my PowerPoint skills. I mean, it's hard for me to get this picture up here. But you can see, if you have this structure going on within your club, you're going to have momentum. And then another club opens, guess what we're going to teach them to do? This structure. Then another club opens, guess what we teach them to do? This structure. And then another one opens, guess what we teach them? This structure, right? And we're going to get into more of the structure and the partner fees and all that good stuff in the last section. We're going to get really into detail on the money and stuff. I wanted to end with that one, so that way you got questions fresh in your mind. But yeah, with this too, and how we're breaking a lot of Get Team members, and we got a lot of Get Team members this last year, is because of the club structure and how we're setting it up and how we're filling up the bar. You know, our goal at every single nutrition club is to have 8 to 10 coaches that are working out of that nutrition club, that are basically like partners, we like to call them. And we allow them to make profits and move their own product. But basically a club owner fills up a nutrition club with 8 to 10 people, teaches them how to do a minimum of 2,500 volume points a month, working this structure right here on the screen. Boom, you're a Get Team member, right? 8 people, 2,500, plugging into the structure, working the nutrition club. Welcome to Tab Team. Yes, that's what we want. And then you go out and you duplicate that a couple times. Here come those emeralds, right? A Mill Team pin. And all you got to do really is show people how to get to the level that you're at. Show people how to get to the level that you're at, and that's going to get you to the next level. Then you show people how to get to the level that you're at, it's going to get you to the next level, right? So yeah, so this structure right here, I hope you guys took something away from that. I'm going to bring Bailey up here for her last section, I believe, and we will go from there. So shake sampling.
All right, awesome, you guys. I've seen Ryan give that presentation so many times, but I love watching it every time because I get something new out of it every time about how I want to present it and how I can make mine a little bit better every single time, and how I can really teach my team to break it, to be a little bit easier to break it down to them. So let's get going. So we saw all those awesome shakes that Ryan was talking about before. Our shakes are delicious, absolutely incredible. I think right now we have like 135 different options or so. It varies. There's always new flavors coming in and out, and people are pulling up recipes that they want us to make and things like that, which as long as we have the stuff, we'll be more than happy to try it for you, but don't yell at me if it's not very good. So let's go. Okay, so you guys, the first major key in your shakes is that they have to be delicious, of course. So nobody's gonna want a subpar shake and they're gonna be like, man, I'm coming back every single day for this average shake. No, it has to be delicious. They're gonna want it every single day, right? It has to be visually appealing. So we use our clear cups with the dome lids, and then we have these bright colored straws, and go from there, because then even like walking down like the through the park on the path, someone's like walking through sipping on a big pink straw, you know that they've been to Healthies today and they've got a shake. And so it's really awesome just to see the kind of impact that we're making. We have to have a variety. So like I said, I think like 130 flavors or something. So we have something for literally everyone. If you're more on the fruity side, we've got you. If you're a coffee lover, we've got you. If you got more like rich, like buttery pecan with the new pralines, we've definitely got you. Been selling that like crazy. And then building value with your add-ons, you guys. So, you know, as your coach, you know, they're coming in drag and they're like, oh, I need some energy. You know, it's your job to be like, man, well, have you tried a lift off today? Because like I have them and I love them. And they're like, okay, well, whatever you do, I want. So great. So let's just $2. Here's a lift off today. They're going to absolutely love it. They're going to love the clean energy boost. And you kind of talk to them, you know, like they've got all your B vitamins. There's actually even 100% of your daily amount of biotin in them. And, you know, really being a good coach and suggesting to them, their add-ons and things like that to extend their membership. Plus, it's going to bring more money into the club and it's going to move more of your volume. And now we're all trying to get all that documented volume, so you want to keep pushing it. Okay, you guys, so shake A on the left and shake B on the right. So which one is more visually appealing, shake A or shake B? Right? Yes. You know, which one is going to create more social media buzz? Like Ryan talked about Instagram ready. Like who's going to take their selfie with their styrofoam cup? Or who's going to take it with this awesome looking peanut butter and jelly with a strawberry swirl around the outside that's under 250 calories and is making them feel awesome. You know, it's pretty simple as that. These are some of the examples of our menu boards. So they're really fun, they're really colorful, and really bright. And now we have even started noting our allergens for our customers. So we, I don't think on these pictures, yes, actually in the top left, anything with a star, or I believe has nuts or like peanut butter, things like that in it. Because of course we're serving so many people, we're putting it out there to them that you wouldn't think, you would think that they would tell you that they have a nut allergy or things like that when they see peanut butter and pecans and things like that overboard, but a lot of times they don't. So we just want to make sure, of course, A, we're being very hygienic with our spoons, and we're not reusing them, and we're having individual spoons for high allergens of things like cinnamon, peanut butter, any kind of nuts, anything that's coming in contact with. You want to have your own separate spoon and really make sure that everything's really running clean and that your customers with your special allergens feel comfortable coming in. So these are examples of some of our shakes. So if you want to like take a picture, grab it from it. This is some of our vanilla shakes and some of our cookies and cream shakes, some of our most popular ones. Let's run through like wedding cake right here on cookies and cream. It's your first one. Start with 8 ounces of water, 2 scoops of cookies and cream Formula 1, 1 scoop of VPDM. And you guys, we do the heaping scoops like with the spoons, the Herbalife spoons. We don't use the little ones that come in the can. Our health department doesn't want us to do that and be putting them back in. And we like the heaping scoops because it's getting more product. The shake tastes better, it's thicker, it's more filling. And I would rather be putting more Herbalife product in their body versus frozen fruits, puddings, things like that, of course. 1 scoop of VPDM, half a tablespoon cheesecake pudding, half a tablespoon white chocolate pudding. You guys, that's just your dry mix. You can use sugar-free or regular, really whichever works for you and your cost. I will tell you sugar-free is about 4 times the cost of regular. So just something to factor in. And then a tablespoon of almond syrup. All of our syrups are sugar-free. They have a ½ ounce stopper on each one of them. So if it calls for 2 different syrups, if you drop a load of white chocolate Reese's, half a tablespoon, you're going to do 1 shot of each and go from there. No shake should ever get more than 1 tablespoon of pudding, 1 ounce of syrup. Go from there. But of course, if they want to add in like extra protein, things like that, of course we can. Okay. So like we were just talking about, all shakes are going to start with 2 scoops of Formula 1 and 1 scoop of PDM. An extra scoop of PDM is just $1. No problem. They're coming in, they tell you they're super hungry that day. Well, if you ever put extra protein in your shake, you know, it's just $1. Let's try it out today. They might be your new extra protein person every single day. So of course we have our allergen-free options as well as our sport options because we want to be customizable and available to everybody. And again, everybody that wants to come in and have specialized things with allergens, things like that, we want them to feel comfortable coming into us when they couldn't really run through like a fast food place and they don't know what's coming in contact with their food, that we can really be there for them and support them with a healthy meal. All right, you guys, let's do our basic membership. So this is when you come in and you're going to get your shot of aloe, you're going to get a 10-ounce cold tea in a small glass, and you're going to get your shake. So it's all $6 whenever you come in and see us. If you don't want to get your tea, it's still going to be $6. It's your basic membership when you come in and see us, and then you're getting complimentary shake, tea, and aloe. but even if you don't like the tea, you're already getting it, so why don't we try it? And so, you know, some people that say they hate tea, do not like tea, they will not like it. You know, well, it's coming in your membership, and you're burning about 80 calories, and you're going to have a clean energy boost. So I kind of assume, like, well, why don't you just plug your nose and drink it, because you're going to like the effects. And then some of those people are now coming in just to get large teas to see us sometimes. Now they're hooked, you know, getting them a little bit uncomfortable because they're getting it anyways, and now they're hooked on the tea. So we got those people that love the tea now. They're going to start upgrading to your Plus membership. So that's going to still be your shot of aloe, but you're going to upgrade to your 16-ounce tea, which is going to be the same size as your shake, the same cups that those come in, and then your shake for $7. Of course, we also do a rebuild membership as well. When you want to come in and see, what's that, 8? That's 8. All right, guys, we make our teas by the gallon in the fridge. Raspberry, lemon, peach in our club, because we are so busy, we have 2 at all times, because during lunch, if you run out of a gallon of tea, there's no time to be stopping to make another gallon of tea. Just grab the one out of the back. The way we make our tea, 5 teaspoons is going to make you a gallon. It's a little bit less than serving suggestion size, but we found that if it gets a little bit darker, customers think to seem it's a little bit more bitter, and they don't like it quite as well, so we backed off a little bit, and they seem to find a really good balance right at about 5 teaspoons in a gallon. And then, you guys, we take our aloe concentrate. We also make it by the gallon in the fridge, but then what we do is we take that and we funnel it into clean, empty syrup bottles. Okay, so they're just the glass bottles that your syrups come in. We soak the labels off, we clean them out, bleach them, make sure they're nice and clean, and then there's just a free flow liquor pour on top. And then so when they come in for a shake the first time, awesome, you're going to sit out your shot cups, you're going to get out your bottle of aloe, and you're going to pour them some shots. Okay, because it's 11 o'clock in the morning. We might as well have some shots of aloe, make it fun, make them want to come back. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. And then when you hand them this small, like, clear shot that you just poured out, they're going to be scared to death. But it's absolutely no problem. It's delicious. Get them to sip on it, and they go, oh, that's not that bad. No, and it's more interesting. And they're going to remember what the aloe does, and they're going to like it, and they're going to make sure that they get it in their tea the next time. You know, and then it makes for more of a consistent pour. So you don't want where you're going to get a small glass of tea and you're pouring from a gallon, and all of a sudden you have a half a glass of aloe and a half a glass of tea, which before we implemented the bottle system, we realized we were running through tons and tons of aloe as we got busier, because we weren't having consistent pours. We weren't getting the 1 to 2 ounces in the cup. We were getting sometimes like 5 to 6 ounces, and in a rush just going with it. And of course, we know the aloe is like liquid gold. It's a little bit pricey, right? When it's coming through the club and running through that, we wanted to make sure that we could get it back down. So we found that they're really consistent, and it's really saved us some aloe when we use the pours. Again, you guys, consistency is key. I think we probably said consistency 100 times tonight on this call, but you have to make it consistent from one person to the next club to, your club 100 miles down the road. You know, if you're going to be in conjunction with each other and you say that you can stop down here and get a shake just like you stopped in here, like Ryan said, you want that blueberry muffin to be the same blueberry muffin across the board. And then your hardest part about your shake is your water to ice ratio. As I tell my clients to all the time, when they first start, your hardest part about your shake is your water to ice ratio. So we do about 8 to 9 ounces of water, and then we start with a little bit under a cup of ice at the very end on the top, so it brings all the stuff down in the blender and helps get all the shake off the side that we don't want to waste on the sides of the blender. We can always add more ice in, but we can't take it out. Icy shakes are not good unless they like them icy, because then all we taste is ice, and we want them to taste the product. So speaking of great shakes, ask your customer if they love their shake before they leave. Make them taste it in front of you, because if they taste it and they go, yeah, it's really good, it's probably not that good. So sample your own work. You know, the little 2-ounce shooter cups that we use for the aloe, you know, just pour yourself a little sample of a bunch of your shakes. Make sure that they're good. So I've poured myself a sample of a shake. It's been disgusting. It happens once in a blue moon, rarely now, hopefully. And I've gone out to that customer who's sitting down at a table, taking their shake away from them, telling them that the shake's not up to par. Let me remake it for you. It's absolutely no problem, and make it right. They didn't have to complain to me, but I didn't want them to have a subpar experience, whether it was their first time, their 10th time, or their 100th time in there. I want them to absolutely love their shake. So if it's gross, just remake it. It doesn't cost you that much money, or drink it. You know, I've drank some gross shakes. It's fine. We love the products. We'll drink them. You know, and you guys, our customers, especially the ones that are first coming in, aren't used to powder shakes. They aren't used to shaker cup shakes. Okay, so we love our shaker cup shakes, and we love the products and they're delicious. But if someone's coming in saying from usually getting milkshakes and smoothies and things like that, and then you give them a shake and you're saying it's delicious, it's so good, you're going to love it, and it's going to be really filling, and you're giving them a powder and ice shake, they're like, this is not what I'm used to. I don't like this. I don't want to come back in for it, things like that. They could love it, of course, but a lot of our customers that we see coming in aren't used to those kind of shakes, so they like the fact that this is like, it looks like an extravagant shake, that it looks like it should be so bad for you, it tastes like it should be so bad for you, but if they're all under 250 calories, right between 17 to 25 grams of protein, depending on what you got in there, and all your daily essential minerals and vitamins. And, you know, as coaches, it's really our job to instill in them, you know, like, yeah, so you can still feel like you're cheating, but you can come in and see me and have great energy, be really full, and still love your shakes. You know, of course, they're going to get to a place where they love their shaker cup shakes too, just like the rest of us. But really, to get them in the door and get them to be such a product lover, we like to introduce them to the shakes that are going to be more like their milkshakey shakes, things like that. Okay, don't overload and waste. Sample out your remainder. So you guys, some people, I've seen shakes come out and you can pour an entire another cup, like an entire another 16-ounce cup out of the shake. I'm like, whoa, I don't know how we got 2 shakes out of 1 serving of Formula 1 and BPDM. But, of course, now we're cheating our customer. They're not getting all their vitamins, their minerals, things like that, and they're getting a lot of extra filler of water and ice and things like that that we don't want to be going down our drain. So, you know, of course, it's going to, sometimes it'll be a little bit bigger. There's going to be samples to, or remains in the bottom. They're going to get a sample out, but people love samples. Yes, people will hang out for hours just to sample. And what other bar gives you samples? You know, none. So give them samples. They're going to find their new favorite shake. They're going to want to come back in tomorrow to try that shake. You just gave them a cookie dough. They're coming back in the morning to get a cookie dough for breakfast and really go from there. I'd rather have it in my customer's body or in my body than down the drain. All right, items to sample. So extra shakes like we were just talking about, sampling them out to people at the bars. Lift-offs, of course, are one of my favorite things to sample. We go through hand cream at the bar like crazy, like absolutely crazy. We write on it, sample me, you know, to the point where like girls are coming in every day during the summer with like their shorts and their tank tops on, lathering themselves up. I'm like, girls, it's a sample. Like I can sell you a bottle. It's just a sample. So, you know, and having them on backstocked, like, so let's talk about this and really getting them to that. CR7, of course, the tea packets, meal bars, mint mask. We even put in like our little sample cups with a lid on it. We'll give out like a whole mint mask one day, give it out to everybody. Go try this at home. Tag me in your mint mask Monday picture. Go from there. H3O, hydrate, total control packets, protein bars, anything that you love, sample it, because it's not going to be about what you say to that person, how you say it. So, you know, like I love lift-offs, and everyone knows that I love lift-offs, and you can tell when I talk about lift-offs that I love them. So it's not that I'm like, yeah, it's going to give you great energy and give them this. I'm like, no, because it gives you great energy and you're going to feel so good. And, you know, if you can get on my level and go from there. And just really anything that you love, and especially the things that are individually packaged, are so easy to sample. But when you're sampling, you want to be sampling with the intentions of selling. So we don't want to just be giving away product, right? You know, we love to sample, but we don't want to just give away product to anybody and everybody. So when you sample, you have to, you know, really make sure, do you have that person's number? Do they have your number? Do they have any information about you? You know, how many times have I given someone a lift off because they're tired, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to love it. I can't wait to hear back from them. And then I walk away and I realize that I have no way to hear back from them or get in contact with them, so they're going to love this lift off and then not be able to get back a hold of me for more. So, you know, so I'm still softening the market, but I didn't sample with the intentions of selling for myself. And then following up on your samples. So, you know, if you do give out those packets, say like even in the gas station, making sure that you're getting that number, you know, put your number in my phone really quick and then I'll text you so you have mine. So you can follow up one of the next day, like, I just wanted to check in on your energy levels, see how are you doing, because again, we're not just intending to give away product. Okay, let's go into retail a little bit. So we're going to use the club to make full retail sales, of course, because the club is a tool, again, and the club is a tool to make retail sales. So it's going to, again, come back to the invite, always coming back to the invite. Start with the invite to get to the customer. It's going to switch you to a preferred member, then to a distributor, and then to your business builder. But you got to get to your customer first, and you're going to full retail the first time, every single time. Okay, guys, we don't do discounts in our club. And of course, there's special circumstances for everything, but full retail the first time, every time, because you're instilling them the value of the products, because the products are worth it. Absolutely, 110%. They are the best products on the planet. They are worth it, and you are worth it. So you have to get paid for your time. You know, you may be only sitting down with them for a half an hour to an hour, but then you're going to be following up with them for the next 28 or so days, or however long their program is that you've set up for them, for, you know, here and there and everywhere. And you want to get paid for your time, because those times in your follow-up, you're not going to be getting paid for, right? Pennies in the sale, fortune in the follow-up. But if you're cutting out your pennies in the sale, you're not paying yourself for your time. So you have to remember that you are valuable and your information is valuable. So then follow up, follow up, follow up. Always follow up. You know, I'm sure there's so many of us that wish we could go through and collect everyone that has fallen through the cracks of follow-up and get them started again, and we would probably all hit Prez Team collectively again if we could pick them all up. But, you know, so it's really trying to make sure no one falls through the cracks, writing down in your binder, you know, day 1, 3, 5, 7, 14, 21, whatever your schedule is. If you're going with the Herbalife follow-up, putting it in your calendar, follow up with Miranda, putting it on there, and just hitting on it, just touching, loving, making sure we love everybody. The claims training, there's some new claims trainings online. There's some new Nutrition Club owner and operators trainings online. I'm getting ready to go on and take it again, because I'm sure it's changed a lot in the past couple years since I've taken it, and I want to make sure I'm current on it, so when my new people take it, they have a question and they want to come ask me, I'm not like, well, let me go look that up for you. I want to make sure that I'm current with everything so they can stay current with everything. So not always, of course, be ethical. We're protecting the golden goose, not selling to other people's customers. It can be really easy when it's really busy during lunch and someone comes in, they're like, hey, I want a box of Liftoffs. Okay, well, here's your coach. Well, Ryan's my coach. Well, awesome. Ryan's not in here. He won't be back for a couple days. It's really busy. So it's only a box of Liftoffs. It's only $20, but that's not being ethical, and that's not rewarding Ryan for getting that customer and keeping that customer and bringing them back in. So, even just those little sales like that, like, sure, I can be happy to sell you Liftoffs, but to get you a whole box, let's get a hold of Ryan. A lot of times I'll get them the sale, I'll get a hold of Ryan, he'll reimburse me the product, I'll give him the money. Again, it's always about the customers, getting the customers what they want, and then working out the coaches behind the scenes. Like I've said before, we are in the business of building relationships, not sales. So people will tell me all the time, I can't do what you do. I'm not a good salesman. I'll tell them, I don't see a lot of salesmen do great in Herbalife. I see great storytellers and people who want to make an impact on other people's lives in the community do great in Herbalife. Because when you love things and you talk about them, people are going to get it. I've never been great at sales, but I can tell you pretty much anytime I sit down with anyone to do a wellness evaluation, they're walking away with at least a can of shakes and a VPDM or something, if not a full program, because I love these products and I truly believe in what they've done for me and what they can do for my customers, and they can feel that when I say that to them. And then, of course, I build my relationship with them and listen to what they need and what they want in their wellness evaluation so I can make suggestions. So our next point, value yourself. Don't be afraid to make suggestions with confidence. So you are their coach. You have to sat down and listen to them tell you everything that they're looking for. But don't be afraid because of a price tag or because you don't have the confidence in yourself to tell them what you think that they would benefit from. Your time is valuable. Your information is valuable. So make those suggestions with confidence. When you go to the doctor and you tell him all of your symptoms, he doesn't ask you, okay, well, maybe this medicine or this medicine, which one do you think that you would need? You know, he tells you this is what your best option would be for the problems that you've laid out in front of me. Not that we're doctors or anything like that, but don't be wishy-washy when it comes to your customers. You don't want to be forceful and you don't want to be pressuring them, but you also want to have confidence in your voice so they believe in you as a coach. Of course, again, low pressure always. We're going to love on them whether they're walking out with the entire book or whether they're walking out with nothing. We're going to love them for where they're at and keep going. And then taking care of your customers so they can become your biggest business builders. I said no to this business for quite a while, I believe like 6 months or more. And I just kept sending all my customers to Ryan, And this was, man, he was a world team member, and I thought he was making too much money, and I was sick of it. I was giving him all my money. Back then I was only making $8 an hour as a cosmetologist, so him making any of my retail sales I was a little envious of. I was like, you have enough money. I'm going to take some of this money. I'm going to do this business. So that's how I got started in it, and so many people I've watched come along. And then I want to, kind of close out with this story here. This guy, his name's Wade. He's one of my Frontline Business Builders. He's a Get 2500 member. He's absolutely incredible. He's one of my best friends. He actually went to high school with my dad, which is crazy to say that him and his wife are now a couple of my best friends, and they're my parents' age. But Wade, up here on the left, looked like when he came in to the nutrition club, way dirtier, like way grungier on his lunch break. He was a delivery manager at Lowe's, so they would drive around and like haul the big fridges out and unload them, things like that. It's a pretty rough, pretty stressful job, especially if you're starting to get a little bit older. He came in, he was drinking a shake with one of his buddies, let's back up. Came in the door and sat in. You could tell that they've never been there before. They get that weird look. They think we're all crazy. They think the place is crazy. So they're like, what's up? It's your first time. So Ryan actually approached him first. And, that's their first time, blah, blah. And I was working a shift with Ryan. He's like, so Bailey's going to help you out over here. Passed up on these two guys who maybe look a little bit grungy. So I'm sure he's never going to do that again. So I ended up helping him out. Had lunch. He's drinking a shake. He looks at me and goes, you tell me if I drink this shake, I'm going to lose weight. I said, yeah. So Ryan and I challenged him, come in every day for a week. So let's swap out your lunch every day for a week. We were going to weigh you in today. We're going to weigh you in a week and see what happens. But of course, just starting off switching those shakes, those first couple of days, his energy started going through the roof. He wanted to start eating better. He even started walking a little bit that first week. And guys, he dropped 10 pounds his first week. So he did absolutely phenomenal. Of course, we know the average weight loss is half a pound to a pound a week, but he absolutely rocked it out his first week, and of course, just fell in love with everything. Started sending everybody in from Lowe's like crazy. He was still working full-time there. His wife is a social worker about 30 minutes outside of town where we're at. She was working full-time, so it wasn't a lot of time for them to be sitting down with clients. So he was just sending everyone into me. So I was meeting with everyone. Wade's doing awesome. He's lost 10 pounds. Let's set up meetings. Let's go from there. Let's set up wellness evaluations. So I started setting up wellness evaluations with some of his referrals. He decides he wants to do the business, of course, right? So I had set up a meeting the day before he had signed up. I set up a meeting with one of his referrals, and it was for the day after he signed up that he couldn't be there for it. So I sit down, I do this meeting, a woman, and she actually brings 2 other people. They end up, I believe, all getting started on advanced programs plus some. And as I'm finishing up, Wade and his wife walk in the door, and Wade even tells a story. He was grumpy that I was sitting down making money off of people he was sending in. And so once we finished up, I sent them out the door. They said hi. I walked over to Wade, sat a stack of cash down on his table, and I said, so are you making this money or am I? Are you going to order this product or am I? And I told him at 35%, his profit was going to be like $135. And he was jacked. He was so stoked on it. And he'll tell you even like that was one of his first like main switches just by loving on him. And like, could I have taken that sale because I set it up before he signed up as a member? Sure. But would I have a 2.5 Get Team line now that's got soon to be its 7th nutrition club opening in it? Absolutely not. So loving on them where they're at, taking care of your customers. In 12 months, Wade lost 102 pounds. His wife lost 65 pounds. They now own a nutrition club. They're doing absolutely incredible. And just from loving on him where he was at, not passing up on the little bit grungy, dirty guy and really making that relationship happen, he's become my biggest business builder so far. So you guys love on them for where they're at. Embrace your difficult clients. I was one of the most difficult clients for sure. I can't even believe some of the stuff I used to do. But if Ryan hadn't embraced me and loved me for where I was at, I wouldn't be sitting here almost 5 years later, getting into Cuts Millionaire team and going from there. So reach out to your customers, love them for where they're at, and go from there and build a great business. So, all right, you guys, we're going to close out the day with everything that you're here to learn, all the structure, all the cash flow, all the numbers. So shake out your hands, get your blood moving, because this next section is going to be jam-packed full of information that you're not going to want to miss. So I'm going to bring Ryan back up.
Thank you, Bailey.
All right. Yeah, so the moral of that story is don't ever prejudge anybody. Okay, I got a couple stories of prejudging people, but I actually pawned Wade off onto Bailey. I was like, all right, you take care of this guy. Now he's a 2.5 Get team member. I mean, he is like this close to Cuts of Millionaires team now, so it's just incredible. And it all started with the customer. Some of the customers become your best business builders. So let's see here. All right, so we're going to hop right into it. This is an important section. I'm going to try to fly through it so we can get some questions answered at the end, so I don't keep you on here all night long. But in this section, I'm going to show you how our club works, how it operates when it comes to partners, coaches, fees, cash flow, all the above, okay? So this is just how we do it. This is not the only way to run a nutrition club, but this system works for us, and it's very duplicatable for us. So I just want to share that with you. I want you to treat it like a buffet, though. I want you to take the things you love, leave the things you don't. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just here to help you, okay? And so note, too, that disclaimer, that the outcomes, they're going to vary from club to club and from person to person, because it's all about work ethic and lots of variables go into nutrition clubs, but we try to get all those variables together so we can have a rocking nutrition club every single time. So the club structure is important. We've already talked about it, especially when it comes to duplication. You got to have that structure, okay? Just like a fast food franchise, right? They have a structure for exactly how to make a cheeseburger, right? They got a structure for exactly how to run people through the cash register, things like that. So we do the same thing with the nutrition club, okay? So a nutrition club is a business. I know Bailey said this, but it needs to be ran like one, okay? If it's a hobby, it can't be a hobby. I tell my people, nutrition club, it's full-time work, okay? You need to write that down. A nutrition club is definitely full-time work. So if you think you're going to open up a nutrition club, kick back, relax, and enjoy an Herbalife income, no. Get ready to work, okay? Getting the president's team takes hard work, so just know that. So club structure. So with our partners that work in the nutrition club, I like to think of it as like a booth rental like hair salons do. Okay, so all of my partners that work within the nutrition club, they have the opportunity to make profits while contributing to the overall expenses of the club, okay? Because the coaches, they like profits, they like cash flow, they like money in the pocket right away. They like leaving every single shift, with cash money in their hand. So it's a really attractive opportunity for coaches wanting to work at your nutrition club. So here's how it all works. Okay, so my part-time people, they get 2 shifts a week, okay, and our clubs are open. My Zanesville club, we're open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Okay, so we're open 13 hours a day. So my part-time people, they get 2 shifts a week. Those 2 shifts are they're actually now 6.5-hour shifts, okay, because we just split the day right down the middle. They pay my part-time people, they pay a flat rate partner fee of $125. Now again, these numbers may be different for you depending on where you're at in the country, depending on what your lease looks like. And actually, when I first started my nutrition club, these partner fees were a little bit higher, like right around $200 for my part-time people, because we didn't have the memberships coming in yet and the shake count coming in yet, okay? So all of my part-time people too are required to provide product to the club fridge, because we do make the teas and aloes by the gallon. So we just stock up the fridge at the beginning of the month. All of my part-time people, they do 3 large teas and 1 half-gallon of aloe at the beginning of the month. And they pay their $125 partner fee. I get them 2 shifts a week or 8 shifts over the month. Okay, now my full-time people, they get 4 shifts a week. If they get 5, it's a bonus, I tell them, you know, because sometimes they'll get 5. But they get at least 4 shifts a week. Again, 6.5-hour shifts, split it right down the middle. And we like to try to be fair with the schedule. You know, it's not everyone. It's not like you get to open every single shift or close every single shift. You know, you got to like do your fair share of opening and then do your fair share of closing. So my partner fees for the full-time people are adjustable with expenses. And I'm going to show you a formula for this and how it works. But I do adjustable with expenses because my full-time people are the people that are at the club a lot, the most, right? They're the ones running the show when I'm not there. So if their fees are adjustable with expenses, then they're inclined to watch the expenses, because guess what? If you're giving out all this extra PB Fit or all these extra strawberries or whatever it might be, well, guess what? When it comes down to the end of the month expenses, guess who's paying for that? The full-time people, right? So they're going to be following those recipes to a T and not getting too overboard on some of the things. And then they also provide products to the club fridge. So they do 6 large teas and 1 half-gallon of aloe. Okay, so that way at the beginning of the month, we got all these teas in the fridge and a bunch of half-gallon of aloes so that we can just, you know, run smoothly and make those by the gallon. So all partners get to use their own products in our nutrition club. Okay, again, there's multiple ways to set up your nutrition club. This is how we do it, because when I first opened up my very first nutrition club, I went around the country and I visited multiple nutrition clubs and learned from multiple club owners, and I took my favorite things from all of them and threw them into one. But one of the things that I was seeing was when I was visiting clubs was a problem with getting coaches that wanted to work, right? And then number 2 was I saw a lot of club owners that were doing super high personal volumes that weren't Get Team members yet. They were doing 20,000 volume points personally every single month, but weren't a Get Team member yet. So that just clicked with me. I'm like, okay, well, how can we get this volume in my organization? Because my goal was I wanted to be a Get Team member, right? So I allow all my coaches within the club to use their own product and to put those teas and aloes into the fridge, because that's volume within my organization. Okay, so when they make a shake, they're using their own Formula One. They're using their own proteins, right? And each of my partners have their own cabinet, and they all got their own drawer. They all bring in their own cash box. Okay, so they all must stock all flavors and keep a small inventory for selling, and then also too for when they run out, because like I said before, you got to stock for success, you know, and you got to stock to keep your business running. And so all my coaches stock their own inventory. They also get to use their own lift-offs, H3O, Beauty Booster, fiber, protein bars, add-ons, etc., whatever it might be, okay? Now, here's how we work these out. So I have all of these things at the Nutrition Club, like my inventory on, like, you know, some different displays and things like that. So the coaches, if they don't have the inventory, then they sell mine and I get to keep the money. If they have the inventory, then they can sell it. So let's say someone wants to come in and they just want to get, you know, a lift off added into their shake or something. that coach could be like, okay, great, I got a lift off. They're going to get to keep the money for that lift off they sold. If they don't have the lift off, then they're going to take it, out of my stock, but then the money goes in to my drawer. So this encourages all of my coaches that work within the club to have inventory. Okay, and inventory for us is volume, and we want them making money. Like, that was one of my goals in the beginning, is I wanted my team and my people that would work with me to make just as much money as I was, right? Because I knew if they were making more money, they'd be buying more product, they'd be more excited about what they were doing, and I wanted to give them a super high incentive to work hard, because if you got a high incentive, you're going to see a high effort, right? If you got a low incentive, you're going to see a low effort. So I wanted these guys to be able to move volume, and I wanted them to be able to put money in their pocket every single shift, okay? And basically the way we get it set up is I'm going to show you on some of these next slides right here, okay? So a basic membership, and your prices may be different around the country. I know in Hawaii we're doing like, I believe it's like $8 or something for a shake, but here in Ohio, these are the numbers that we do. You adjust accordingly to where you're at. But I would set it up kind of the same way. So our basic membership, it's $6. You're going to get your shake, you're going to get your small 10-ounce tea, and you're going to get your 2-ounce shot of aloe. The partner or coach that makes that shake is going to collect the money, and they get to keep $5 of the $6 membership. The remaining $1 goes into the club like a pot to help cover overall expenses. Okay? A large membership, which is $1 more, it's $7. You get the shake. You're going to get the large tea. Okay? So that's the only difference, and your 2-ounce shot as well. Same thing happens, though. The partner coach that makes the shake is going to collect the money. They get to keep 5 of it, and $2 is actually going to go into the pot to help cover overall expenses. So we got 2 different pots that we're running daily, okay? And I'm going to show you how we break those out and everything. But with this system, coaches are excited about putting money in the pocket every single shift, and coaches work as a team to provide great service because we go on a rotation system. So it doesn't matter whose coach they are. So let's say if I'm working with Bailey and all of a sudden we have 6 people walk in and 5 of them I coach, right? I'm not responsible for just making all 5 of those shakes. We're going to rotate, make those shakes as fast as we can, and provide great customer service, right? But really that cash flow of $5 in the pocket every time you turn the blender on, getting to move your own volume, getting to feel a part of the business, I mean, it's highly attractive, right? Because let's take, for example, what are most college kids doing, even graduate students doing? They're waiting tables at their local bar and grill, waiting on a table for 45 minutes to an hour, praying they leave me $5. You know what I mean? I used to wait tables, and you would spend that time waiting, and it's like, oh, I hope they tip me. You know what I mean? So to get to this money in the pocket every single time, it's attractive. This is why I have waiting lists for people that want to work at the nutrition club, because you can see too, right? A nutrition club that's doing 100 shakes a day, that's $18,000 a month in shake sales. That's $3,000 a month going towards expenses, and that's $15,000 going towards your coaches that are making the shakes. And guess what? That's organizational volume, right? You get a club that's doing 200 shakes a day, right? 200 times 6, you're going to be looking at $36,000 a month just in shake sales. You're going to have your $6,000 going towards expenses, and then that rest of that money goes to the coaches that were making the shakes. Cash flow, attractive, volume, great opportunity. So for add-ons, okay, and I think I already covered this, but the coach that's helping the customer will get to keep the money for any products that are added on, just as long as they have the inventory in stock. If they don't have the inventory in stock, one of the other coaches on shift can supply that and keep the money. However, if if they have to use my inventory, then I receive the money. So here's our price formula for like individual things. that we're allowed to sell, right? You take the full retail price, you divide it by how many servings they are, and then that's going to equal your cost per serving. And what I like to do is I like to round up from there. Why do I like to round up? Because I want it to be cheaper for them to buy a full box than an individual product. So I take the full retail price divided by the servings. That's going to give me the cost per serving, and then round up usually to like the solid dollar or something like that. Okay, but with this and with the add-ons and stuff, like I said before, all the coaches working in the nutrition club, they got motivation to keep a fully stocked inventory and to run it like a business. Because if they're not, then they're missing out on money, right? So let's say, for example, if I got 3 coaches working and 2 of them are out of liftoffs, well, then one of them's got a monopoly on liftoffs for the whole day. You know what I mean? And you sell 90 liftoffs, extra $180 in your pocket. You know, it's incredible. And we sell tons of them. So the shake rotation. So this is important. We just rotate the shakes as they come in. We rotate the walk-ins as they come in. We rotate taking care of an invite as they come in. If you know, say the coach isn't there that invited them in. But the shake rotation, you know, coaches work as a team to provide great service and rotate members as they come in. They rotate the paid shakes, walk-ins, all that stuff. So the key here is teamwork and exceptional service, and not having someone wait 20 minutes to get a shake, right? I mean, our shakes are popping out fast, right? I mean, we'll have 3 coaches on that are making 3 shakes at a time, you know? So it's like just rotate, and get that going. So again, excited about putting that money in the pocket. Members go from club to club consuming shakes. So really what goes around comes around with the shakes. You know, we just want to treat everyone great and give them great service, whether we're their coach or not. But when it comes to them purchasing a full program or a full product or a full box of liftoffs, we want to send them back to their original coach, right? Because we want them to get those sales. It's what we do, and that's what we would want people doing for us. So that's what we do for other people. Okay. So our end of the month formula for partner fees. Okay, so we take our total expenses. So this is everything. This is our lease, our utilities, our cups, straws, fruit, everything, right? Then we subtract our dollars in, which our dollars in is the $1 per membership that I talked about earlier that goes into the pot. The $1 for any large teas that we do throughout the day goes into another pot. And then any tips that we get, actually, okay? So we got 3 things that go into the dollars in at the end of every single night. And I'm going to show you some of our charts here at the end. So we take total expenses minus our dollars in. Then we minus our part-time people fees because, again, I charged them the flat rate of $125. So if I had 2 of them, I would subtract $250. If I had 4 part-time people, I would subtract $500. Cool? Mm-hmm. And then so after that, we got our leftover expenses. My leftover expenses gets divided between however many full-time people I have, and that's their partner fee for the month, including my partner fee for the month. So I get added in there. So my full-time people don't pay any more or any less than I do, right? You just plug them in there. And now actually that, so I have 2 nutrition clubs that I have now because I filled up one with great, amazing leaders to where literally I had no shifts left and I was getting bored just hanging out at home. So I opened up a second nutrition club. But now that I don't work any shifts at that first one, then I don't even pay any partner fees anymore. All the expenses get covered with this system right here, right? Same thing going on with my Newark shop now. It's filled up with great, amazing leaders. So with this system, you know, I got 2 nutrition clubs that are costing me nothing to run and that are getting ran by leaders that want to grow a royalty check because I'm giving them, you know, opportunity to do that and to make profits. And really too, like all of my club owners do different tasks and things like the scheduling, the ordering, all that stuff gets done by one of the coaches, because when it comes time for them to open up their own nutrition club, guess what? They already know how to do it. There's no further training. They've got it. They know what's going on. They know how to get it done. So are we clear on this formula right here? Because I think this formula is very important. And sometimes even too, with this formula, your full-time people can sometimes come out as a less of a partner fee than the part-time people. So then you got an option if you want to charge them less, or if you just want to charge them the flat rate of the 125. So sometimes, like with the busyness of our nutrition clubs, with this system, they're profiting every month. Okay, so I'm just letting the accounts stack up, so that way if we need to get new blenders, or we need a new like we got a new ice machine not too long ago, or if I want to take them out and do a a VIP dinner or something, or just for the coaches. But that's a good problem to have, you know what I mean, is that the expenses are covered, and that the accounts are increasing, and that the clubs are busy, and that so many people want to work at the nutrition club. I don't even have any shifts anymore, right? Who wants that problem? Everybody wants that problem, right? And it's unbelievable with this. But you allow people to take ownership in the clubs, and allow them to make those profits, you're going to have no problem finding people that want to work in your nutrition club. So let's talk about some of the forms when they come in. So when someone comes in for the first time, they're filling out one of our first time forms, which just gets all of their basic information. How did you hear about us? Their coach's name. And then they can check off any areas of interest down below, like a free wellness evaluation, or they're interested in weight loss, or fit camps, or whatever it might be. So they're filling out one of these, and we actually just tweaked our system a little bit on the sign-in process. So we now switch to an order form, which I'm going to kind of explain to you and show you how we're doing it now to go with the new point of sale system. Because what we were doing was just a basic sign-in sheet, which I think a lot of people are doing now, is just a sign-in sheet where it was date, time, name, are you a member, invite card, your coach's name, small or large T, what kind of shake you got, right? So we actually just recently got rid of this sign-in sheet, and we switched to an order form that's just basic like this. It says name, phone number, email, what kind of shake they want. They circle large or small T, and then any extras they get is written in the bottom, like she got a lift off that day, right? So when they come in, I'm telling them, since we got to put them all in the new point of sale system, I'm telling them the first day you need to fill this out completely. Name, phone number, email. Once you're in the system, then it'll just be name, shake, circle, large or small T, right? So they don't have to write their phone number and email every single time, because they could get tedious, right? So once they're in the system, they'll be good to go. So just let them know, hey, fill it out once. I'm going to get you in the system tonight. Next time it'll just be name, shake, circle, T, right? Make it really super simple for them. So what's really cool about these, though, is now, because before, like, we'd have some people that wouldn't sign in, and like the numbers were off, things like that. Now my numbers are on point, because if we don't get an order form, we don't make a shake. We got to get the order form so we even know to make the shake. And so what we're doing is I'm letting all the coaches keep their order forms throughout the day. And then at the end of shift, we got a end of the night coaches log, which I'll send these over to you too, so you have them. But the end of the night coaches log, it just says the coach's name, the date, how many shakes they made, and then how many of them were large T's, okay? Because those need to be dollars that they take out and put in. So let's say, for example, the other day on my shift, I made 50 shakes, and 10 of them were large T's. So when I finish out my end of shift coaches log, I'd do my name and all that stuff, and then I would write 50 shakes, and I'd put in $50, which was $1 for each membership, and then I'd write 10 in the large T spot, because 10 of those 50 were large T's, so I'd put $10 in the second pot, right? So for the day, just me alone, I put in $60 to help go cover expenses. And this works out really fair too, because let's say I make 100 shakes, I put in $100. If I made 20 shakes, I put in $20, right? Because I could let the coaches keep these dollars throughout the month, but then when it comes time to do the expenses at the end of the month, your partner fees are going to be a sky high, and then they're not going to be as even as they could be if we just take the dollar out per shake as we go. But this new system's been working great for us. So let's say we have 6 coaches on a day's, 6 coaches that work for the day. Then when we do our end of the night books, we just add up all 6 coaches, how many shakes they did, how many of them were large teas, and when we got our numbers for our end of the books. Okay? And we can talk more, and I'll get you super clear on this and how we're doing it, but it's been working great for us. And then once those coaches get their numbers logged and their money in, then I'm letting them take their slips home and finish out putting them in the point of sales system. Because sometimes when it's crazy in there, you're doing 200 plus shakes a day, you don't have time to enter every single one, right? Mm-hmm. So we're just stacking them in a cup. After they record their stuff, they can take them home, receipt them, and then as of now, I'm having them hang on to them, but I believe once May starts, we'll be able to discard these once they're in the point of sales, okay? But for now, I would say just hang on to them if you do them. Another thing, like I talked about, cleaning duties, right? We have our coach's initial cleaning duties. Keep your club clean. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But you got these documents on some things that we look for and keep our club clean. So let's take a look at this one. Maybe this other one will be better. Okay, so this is our end of the night cash report and log. So let's look up here on the first. So on the first, we did 250 memberships, right? 250 people came in. 0 of them were invites, so they need to get to work on some invites, right? Receipts. So for the most part, all expenses get ran under an account for each nutrition club. But let's say a coach needs to do an emergency run and grab some strawberries or something at the store. They can come back. They can turn that receipt in to the membership pot and take the money out instantly, so the club's paying for it, right? So then at the end of the night, let's look down there at the 7th, for example. So at the end of the night, we know that there needs to be $13 short, but there needs to be a $13 envelope or receipt in there. Okay? So let's go back up to the top. So total money collected, $250. Large teas, we had 33 large teas that day. And then we had $34 in tips that day. So just in one day, we took home $317 to go towards expenses with this system. The next day, $358, $309, $343, $296, $187, $129. Those are like Saturday, Sunday, right? $246, $264. So you can see with this system, if you're bringing in $200 a day, you got $6,000 at the end of the month to go towards expenses. If you're bringing in $300 a day, you got $9,000 a month going towards expenses. Coaches are putting money in their pocket, and this is money coming in before you even charge your first partner fee, right? So you can see how this system works. So on average, we're bringing in, anywhere from $6,000 to $9,000 a month to cover the expenses. And then once the partner fees come in, you can see how things are covered completely. And that's what we want, is we want a stress-free business where we're not shelling out a bunch of money to make this thing run, right? The goal is, and the reason we want to open these nutrition clubs is to put money in our pocket and to get ahead, right? We didn't get into Herbalife to pay more bills. We got into Herbalife to thrive and make more money. So with this, everyone's happy. Everyone's rocking in their business. Everyone's putting money in their pocket. The bills are getting paid. Everyone's treated equally. So it's just incredible. So I think that's it on our structure.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Ryan, because I think when you did the training for Tim and Amy, that was like a 6-hour day that you just did in 2 hours, right? You went early?
Yeah, I know. I'm almost sweating here. I'm like, man, we were rocking. So I'm glad you all stayed on the call for it. I know it was a long call with lots of information, but important information. And I'm telling you, if you take some of these key things and you run with it and you apply the structure to your business and you get out there massively inviting and you start training people how to do what you're doing, you're going to fly up the marketing plan so fast, it's going to be incredible. So I can't wait to see everyone moving up the marketing plan, getting new.
Hey guys, make sure you're all on mute. Check your button. I hear somebody talking. So real quick, Ryan, we'll just take a few questions if that's okay.
Yeah.
We've kept you on. I mean, the team is like texting me like crazy. Oh my gosh, these guys are so generous, really. I mean, I know you're like one of the most sought after trainers right now. You have a whole team of President's team coming after honors to tour the clubs. I mean, this thing's going to explode all over the country, but it is Team Herbalife, so we really, really, really appreciate it. So I have a couple quick questions real quick, and then I want to make sure we take them from a couple of team members. So one, when you were talking about a club owner growing, taking a team with them to open up another club, and you said maybe they have 8 people with them. Number one, are they all in their downline? And number two, did they have all 8, or did they start out with 2 and then grow it at the new club? Like, can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so this is what we like to do. The club owner is the owner of the club, so only one person's on the lease, right? Even though I call other people partners and stuff, they just rent a spot at the nutrition club. We only have one owner. We like to fill it up with all downline. You know, no problem working sideline, but let's be, you know, we opened up the nutrition club to grow your royalty check, to get you to get team, and to move you up the marketing plan. Do they all start with 8 people? Absolutely not. I wish they did. So, you know, sometimes it might be 1 person, 2 people. But the thing is that they're starting to build some of their business, you know. And what we do too is like, you know, I don't just allow front line to come into the nutrition club. I allow second line. I allow third line. That way I can build strength of leadership. Because let's say I got 3 people on shift. I got Bailey, who's front line, who has 2 downline team members in there working with her. They're working together. They're working as a team. Bailey's just helping them out, making them go. But yeah, you want to fill it up with your downline. Start off, get as many people as you can to go with you, you know. But start wherever you got to start. And I say the goal is 8 to 10 people. Okay, so that's not like the starting point. The goal is 8 to 10 people working in your club, because that's about how many people we can get in there before shifts are gone. You know,
Okay.
you get 10 people in there. Any more than that, you're going to be running out of shifts. Okay, unless they're all part-time, then you could maybe have some more in there. But yeah, fill them up with your downline. And the reason that we focus on 8 to 10 people too is because 8 people doing $2,500 a month is 20,000 volume points. 10 people doing $2,000 a month is 20,000 volume points. You get that rocking within your nutrition club. You get that structure going within your nutrition club. You can be a Get Team member off one club.
Okay, and then does, say like the team moves over, they open up their club, does everybody invest in the club?
No. For the most part, it's just one owner is going to invest in the nutrition club. But here's what happened with, so our first nutrition club that we opened up, it was me and a couple of my buddies. We didn't have the money to really do it. My dad said he'd help us out. He put about $15,000 into our first nutrition club to help us get going. So then what he did was he added an extra fee into the total expenses to help pay him back each month. And some of my club owners do that. And this is how they do it. They added in, for every part-time person they had, they would add $50 into the total expenses. Not onto their partner fee, into the total expenses, because the dollars and stuff can start to pay for it. For every full-time person, he added $100 into the total expenses. So let's say if any given month, if we had 4 full-time people and 2 part-time people, once total expenses were paid, there would be an extra $600 in there, that or an extra $500 in there, right? 400 from the full-time, 50 each from the part-time people. So my dad would get that $500 each month, right? So then we would just pay him back a little bit as we go. And then once it's paid back, you can drop that off, right? Or you can leave it there for repairs in the future. Because
okay, that makes sense. And then real quick, Ryan, I know a couple of people are thinking, oh my gosh, I currently work in a club. I would love to like start collecting the fees for the services. So of course they have to check with the club owner, but really I want to say it's all about the work ethic too, right? Like you can't turn the blender on and make that $5 unless you are committed to doing the invites, unless you're committed to being plugged into the structure. Like, you got to do it all, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and I require that of my people highly. That if you want to work behind one of my bars, you get out there and increase my shake count by 20, 25 people a day, and then we'll talk about it. You know, plug into the event structure. I'm really strict on event structure. If someone misses an event at one of my clubs, I take them off the schedule. No hard feelings, but I require you work it one day a month, and it's STS day. You can take off all the other ones if you want to, but like, really, it's about working and it's about doing the deal. And I'm looking for people that want to grow an Herbalife royalty check and want to grow an organization and not just be a shake maker, we call them.
Right.
You know what I mean? To where they come in, they make their shakes. When they leave, they take their button off. They don't think or talk about Herbalife till they're back in on shift. Those people don't stay too long in my nutrition clubs, okay? I'm looking for serious leaders that want to grow a serious business because I take my business serious. So I want you doing the same thing. Absolutely.
Awesome.
Work ethic, 100%. Work like crazy.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because it's what I see is the vision of the business builders. They have a structure to plug into, but they got to do the work, and it does take work. Okay, so I know, Tim, do you have any questions since you've been working the system for a week actually, week and a half, and he's loving it, Ryan. He's already on fire with the deal.
Awesome.
Hey, yeah, Ryan, I had a quick question. So the person who's on the shift, when a walk-in comes in, let's say that person wants to get signed up. Does it go to that person that is running the shift at the time?
Yeah, so what we do is we rotate the walk-ins. Of course, if they have an invite card, it's going to go to whoever the invite card is. But, yeah, we rotate the walk-ins. But really, you know, try to maybe dig a little bit to see how they even heard about us, who may have influenced them to come in, whatever, you know, because maybe they got invited in by one of your downline team members that doesn't have invite cards. And, you know, a brand new person might not even know what they're doing. So, you know, we just try to ask the right questions. But if they're just a straight up walk in, like no one invited me in, I just saw this place and wanted to check it out, I say if you waited on them, sign them up.
Yeah, awesome.
What about the married couple working in the club?
Oh yeah, one more question. So we have a married couple that wants to work in the club. It's one distributorship, but you know, one of the, you know, like the husband, for example, would work in the club and then the wife would be out doing invites or vice versa. Do you have any of those kind of scenarios going on at all, or?
Yeah, I actually do have a wife and husband that work in one of my shops currently. Even though they work one distributorship, I treat them as two individual partners.
Okay.
Okay, so actually the husband is a full-time partner and the wife is a part-time partner. So the husband pays the full-time fee, puts in T's and aloes, and then the wife pays the part-time fee and puts in T's and aloes. So you could work it out however you wanted to. You know, maybe if they wanted to split up a full-time duty or something, you know what I mean? They could possibly do that. But I just treated them separately, even though they run the volume under the same ID.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Anybody else have any other questions?
And if you think of some later too, just send them over and we'll get them answered for you, you know, because you'll probably get off here and you can, I got 1,000 questions now.
Right,
No
right, of course.
Yeah, no problem. We'll get them answered for you. And you got all my PowerPoints and things like that. So, so you know, if people need to get clear on, you know, you guys can go through them again and again and again. So yeah, so it looks like someone's got it.
Yeah, Amory, and then I saw two others. So Amory, you have a question?
Yeah. Hey, awesome training. I had a couple questions. With the credit cards and the POS system, I know like there's a little bit of fee with doing credit cards and whatnot. Would it be just at the end of the shift to divvy out the money, what goes to the club, what goes inside the coach's pocket, or does that, you know, go into effect as they come in, as the coach makes it, and as the shakes get paid, the memberships get paid?
So we used to do it as we go, just $1 each time you do it. Now that we're doing these order forms, we just count them up at the end, and then we know exactly how much they owe for the day.
That makes sense.
You know, so if they got 25 slips, you owe $25.
Awesome.
Into
Yeah,
the
that
thing,
makes
right?
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And Imre, do you have another question?
Maybe. Yeah, invites. I know it just depend between club and how many people you have working out of there. Like, is there a certain number you guys, duplicate per coach? And then also, I know sometimes we've gotten in, have created a story about branding ourselves when doing invites or not. Just typically, how does that go for your guys' clubs and in your area?
Yeah, so mainly what I would say is it's massive action is what I tell all my coaches. You can do as little or as many as you want, but if you want a great result, then let's get out and do a great amount of invites, There's no real, I would say, for my people that work at the club, you need to be doing at least 10 a day. 10 a day is nothing, right? 10 a day is like, it should be a piece of cake, you know what I mean? But the thing is consistency with it too is important, but there's some days where we'll go out and I'll do 500 of them, you know what I mean? But I think it's just as important to do 10 a day as it is to do 500 in one day, you know what I mean? So it's the consistency, I think, that really builds up that funnel and keeps it going, you know what I mean? So so if I had a choice between a coach going out and doing 300 invites in one day or doing 10 invites a day over a month, I'd rather see the consistency of the 10 invites a day over the month, right? Because it's going to build good habits and things like that, and then it's just going to be a constant flow, and they can get rocking with it. But yeah, do tons of invites. The more the merrier, right? Get your people in competition. Like, I would run competitions and see who could get the most invites in a month and give them a reward or something like that, That way, if you got a bunch of coaches that are working in your nutrition club that want to go out and get invites in so they can win something, a VIP dinner or a hotel at the LDW or something like that, you know what I mean? They're going to go nuts for it. They're going to be in competition, friendly competition, of course, but it gets fun then.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Great questions, Amory. So a couple of questions on chat. So one is, Ryan, I know you're doing a club tour and you specifically said, make sure it's tab team. So is there any clubs that somebody could go to in the Philadelphia, Delaware area that you know are running it like you are? I have one guy asking.
In the Delaware area, we don't have any yet. We're scratching the surface here in Ohio, right? Like, literally, we got a thin pie slice on the east side of Columbus is where all the clubs are. We still got all this area to go, So none of them are in Delaware yet.
Okay, or Maryland. Maryland either?
No.
Okay.
I thought you meant Delaware, Ohio.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know there was a Delaware, Ohio. Awesome. But I know, like, just any club for everybody on the call, that if you wanted to go and visit clubs, just make sure we all do a consumption. I don't care if you had a Rebuild shake and your regular shake. Like, if you go out of respect, if you go in somebody's club and you want to observe, aloe tea and shake, pay for that. And then, of course, if you ask for an owner's time, make an appointment, and just make sure that's okay, because, 200 to 300 shakes a day.
It's crazy in there. Yeah, and people can come visit the clubs anytime. I mean, we have visitors in and out all the time, so don't feel like you can't come anytime. You come tomorrow if you want to. You know what I mean? Come hang out, tour the clubs. I got lists of addresses where you can make huge loops and visit like 14 clubs in a day if you want to. It was just that it was just a meeting after honors. I just had a lot of president's team members messaging me, and then it just got crazy where I was like, I don't even know if I can fit all these people into one of the nutrition clubs. So I had to like kind of start limiting it on this one. But yeah, I'm going to probably do a tour every 90 days or so and just open it up to anyone and everyone that just wants to come learn and help impact more people in their communities and grow their Herbalife businesses.
Wow, Ryan, thank you. And then let's see, one quick question is, who pays for the complimentary first-time shake?
Yeah, so the coach that did the invite, we make the shake out of their product. So if they're there, they're going to take care of it, make the shake out of their product because Teas and Aloe is already in the fridge. They use their own Formula One. Now, let's say if I'm working shift, one of Bailey's invites come in, she's not working there, we're going to make that free consumption out of Bailey's product. But when Bailey comes in on her next shift, she's going to have one of these first-time cards with the information on it and the lead sitting in her drawer so she knows that she had invites come in. And at that point in time, she can shoot them a text, said, hey, thanks for stopping in Healthy Way. Sorry I missed you. I hope you enjoyed your shake. If you'd like to learn anything more about our products or get a free health and wellness profile, just text me back, I'm ready. And that's all I tell them to say is text me back, I'm ready. And they'll either respond or they won't. Doesn't matter to us, but they text you back, I'm ready, then it's time to set up a wellness evaluation or invite them to the next thing.
Oh, that's awesome. And then very last question is, do you have a tip jar, or as people get tips, they just put that money in that envelope for the club?
Yeah, so actually we just got a bowl that sits out there. And just throw money in it. It doesn't even say tip or anything. It's just actually it's funny how it worked is one day this lady, she brought us like a tomato salad or something. I don't know why, just like a gift, you know what I mean? And so we like ate this tomato salad, then we washed the bowl out and we just set it up on the counter and people started throwing money in it. We were like, hey. You know? So yeah.
That's awesome.
That's how that worked.
Oh my gosh. John, anything for you before we let Ryan and
awesome
Billy
call,
go?
man. No, it was unbelievable. We're ready to roll.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, nobody's going to sleep tonight, Ryan. We're going to have to take sleep now. This was so awesome, so generous. Thank you, thank you. And if there's anything John and I can do for you and Bailey and the rest of the team, you know, please call us. You know,
Absolutely.
I think the team really, actually, let me go ahead and unmute everybody real quick. Was that helpful, you guys?
Great.
Thank you.
Wow, Ryan.
Yes, thank you all for being leaders and sticking on the call and getting through the training. And if you got more questions, we'll get them answered.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Bailey.
You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Bailey.
We'll see you.
Thank you.